According to the Hong Kong motion picture rating system introduced in 1988, the restriction applicable to Category 3 films is thus defined. No persons younger than 18 years of age are permitted to rent, purchase, or watch this film in the cinema. This applies to films produced in Hong Kong or elsewhere. Now go fuck yourself.
Yes, y'all, it's going down right now. Episode 290 of the Triple Shots of Moods and Horror podcast is coming at you live and direct with the homie JP, also known as the Mexicans. And of course, we got Tyler, no fact checks, also known as Mr. Saucedo in the house. And I'd be your host.
Sorry.
And I'd be your host from the foreign land of Canada, the toxic offender, Moodz. Yeah. Thank you for that little.
Jeremy'd you on there.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Thank you for playing Jeremy there, because that is the most annoying thing.
I could not hold back because Tyler fucked us again with his no fact check.
I actually had to put this in there because I wasn't even going to say no fact checks until this whole Cat 3 thing came up, and I was like, it's just perfect to say no fact checks, Mr. Saucedo, because he is definitely the king of fucking the show over. Thank you.
To be fair, we're in this position because I fact checked.
Well,
I got the wrong facts.
I mean, I'm not going to totally hang you out to dry on this one because, to be honest, the cat has been on so many Category 3 lists, but upon further deep dive research by yours truly, the Mexican, and I was doing a little bit too after he said that it wasn't a Cat 3 film, that I just misunderstood. I think we're just getting so much information from different sources and stuff. Like I said, it's on many lists that we're reading. It's not on some lists. But JP actually did find that the actual rating, and it was like a 2B or something like that. So we were discussing before we got on here about what exactly we were going to call the show. Maybe we'll just do the two films as Cat 3 with a bonus feature of the cats, because it turns out it's not actually a Category 3 film. But, upon actually watching it for the first time, I was even questioning it while I was watching and going, why is this a Category 3 film? But then again, I also question a lot of times when I'm watching older video nasties, why this is actually on the videos nasties list, the ban list, the prosecuted list, whatever, the Section 3 list. But we all know a lot of those titles made their way onto those lists based on the actual title of the movie, not the content, which was inside of the, the box. But, so long story short, Tyler did fuck up, but I'm not really mad about it. It's still a really fun show. I mean, we could call this Hong Kong. We have done a Hong Kong show before. We could just call this Hong Kong Volume 2. I don't know.
I think that's what we were trying to do at first. I was just trying to find out, what we were
gonna do was call it a Hong Kong episode, but
this would be Volume 2 because we did a Hong Kong show, didn't we, before?
No.
Oh, that's the Hong Kong box. Never mind. I watched all those shows. I thought we reviewed those on here, but
we did a Category 3 show.
Right, we did a Category 3, but I was thinking that Hong Kong box set that Vinegar Syndrome put out a couple years ago. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Right. I was thinking I reviewed those, but that was just me. Never mind. It wasn't actually on the show. But,
because those are good films. Ways to get these together, and I wasn't thinking Cat 3 because I didn't think this movie was a Cat 3 movie. Then somebody brought up Cat 3, and I clicked on it to see if there was other 92 Cat 3 movies, and this was on that list. I was like, oh shit, this is a Cat 3 movie? All right, then, perfect.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
like I
that's
said,
basically how it happened.
like in your defense though, man, like I looked up a bunch of different lists and they all had this movie on there. So it is what it is, man. People are just a little bit misinformed. It's not really the biggest of deals. It's just a rating system anyways.
It's from the guy that made like The Seventh Curse and Riccio, so I mean, close enough.
Yeah, which are actually both category 3 films. But yeah, so the other little piece of the cat conversation that we have to get to now, this is something that has annoyed me ever since we started doing these top 10 shows and stuff. This is something that's happened multiple times throughout the years, is that we'll pick a new year. In this case, it's 1992. And then the first thing we do is we make like a master list or whatever of all the films we need to watch from that specific year for the podcast, for the top 10 show. And so the day after we picked 1992, I made up a list and stuff. And The Cat on IMDb was 1992. It's on my list. And as of like 3 or 4 days ago, it was still 1992 because I was on the motherfucking page, IMDb, and it still said that. So within the last 4 or 5 days, it actually got changed in 1991. I looked into it. There was one showing, I guess, in 1991 somewhere, film festival, whatever.
At a Tokyo International Film
in
Festival.
Japan.
Yep.
So there was one showing of it, and then it actually came out in Hong Kong the same day as Naked Killer, October 22nd, 1992, the same fucking day as Naked Killer. Isn't that ironic? We did not do that on purpose, but it actually did come out theatrically, I think, in 1990. Yeah, October 22nd, 1992. So the thing that we need to figure out here is, does it qualify for 1992? In my humble opinion, it does. Even though IMDb says 1991 now, it was 92 when I constructed my list. And as of like even 4 days ago, it was still 92. So I don't know, by chance, someone actually went in there and go, oh, it played in Tokyo at some fucking round festival, and changed the fucking date on IMDb. Now, if you guys are just tuning in for the very first time, we are very specific about how we have films eligible for our list. We only use IMDb because it seems to be the most reliable based on, the years and stuff like that. So, and the reason why we do that, we don't jump around, is because it's kind of a more solid way of just defining what films actually do qualify for the specific year. And, because Letterboxd is wrong quite often, Wikipedia is wrong quite often, but they are also both right at certain times too. But we just use one source because it makes it a lot easier for everybody, and then we're all on the same page. So with that said, I digress, but I think that The Cat from 1992 should be eligible, even though it says 91 now. What are your guys' thoughts?
I feel differently.
Eligible.
Why do you feel? I don't understand how you could, because like I said, this has happened in multiple years now, where films have all of a sudden in prep time have changed to a different year. Yeah. And I'm just like, this is so annoying, because
the reason I feel differently is, first of all, I never actually looked at IMDb when I made my list. If you said you did and you're sure, then okay, that's I believe.
Well, I'm telling you, even like 5 days ago when I went on there to actually read what The Cat was about, it said 1992. I never even knew what the even storyline was. I wanted to read a synopsis. I was like, oh, the fuck? This is like sci-fi horror. This is really random. 1992. 5 days later, I think I noticed on Friday or Saturday. I don't even know, but the date had changed to 91. And then I went in there and it was like this Tokyo Film Festival thing. I'm like, what the fuck? So, but we do know things on IMDb change quite frequently, especially dates. I mean, I always go back to like The Entity. Now that one has changed over the years from 81 to 82 to 83. It's had 3 different years on IMDb. It's crazy. So
yeah. So for me, the reason why I basically feel differently is just because I like to be consistent, and we've never changed it before. So if we start changing it now, then it makes it even more messy, because unfortunately that's just the reality of, the internet, and things come up, and, sometimes people figure out that, this film played at some festival. And I think that because we've never really changed it before, personally, I would not count it.
Well, we're not really.
Now,
I mean, this is kind of an exception to the rule, in my opinion, because, like I said, my argument is that this list was done. I've been prepping for months on this, and then all of a sudden it changes. And the reason why I'm kind of hell bent on my thought process on this one is because I could see the cat possibly even making some top 10 lists, and it's kind of ridiculous that someone just has the power to like go and change it to like some Tokyo fucking 1991 film festival.
But if when we decide to use IMDb, and IMDb's year is based on the first time the film was screened publicly, and new information comes out, because I am looking and it does look like that information is correct. The Tokyo International Film Festival started in 85, I believe.
Yeah.
And in the 19...
I'm not doubting that it's not true. I'm just annoyed that...
Well, yeah, it is annoying. Like, I agree with you. But at the same time, it's like, if we use that rule in the past, why change it now? Just because it's inconvenient.
Hey, man, rules are made to be broken. Okay, here's another example from 1992.
So, but then that opens up some other doors. So then...
No, but I'm only saying when we pick a year, so say we end up picking 2005 or 2007 for the next show. Mm-hmm. And we're like 7 months into prep, and all of a sudden the film goes to 2006, and you're like, what the fuck? I already watched, like, this is bullshit. Like, we've already done a master list for it. I feel like that should just be kind of like a tinkering in the rule, is that if you create a master list right after a year is picked, those films that were from that specific year at that time should qualify. I get what I completely understand where you're coming from.
Wouldn't it make more sense because if these lists are this like historical footprint of the show or whatever, and you look back and it's forever from this point on, it's 91. Isn't that more annoying than if we did include it and it was there as a 92 film, but it's known as a 91 film?
Well, put it this way. I get what you're saying, but it's also, these things are also changing after we record too. So we've had, I mean, say you have a film in your top 10
and those ones annoy me because, for example, my number one of 2002 is Frailty. Frailty, ever since we recorded that show at some point after, has been listed as a 2001 film.
I know.
So it's bugged me ever since that that was a 2001 film. So it's like... But
again, it's out of our control. And it's like, okay, so here's another example from 92, that Frankenstein 2000 film. I watched that for 91. All of a sudden now it's on IMDb as 92. I don't know how it went forward in time. That makes no sense to me. Maybe someone had the date wrong in the first place, but I watched it for 91. Am I watching it for 92? Fuck no, that movie sucks. But yeah, like, I mean, the short and long of this is that dates are always changing, and it's like we just have to come to an agreement on what we're doing. I totally understand your point of view, but this just really annoys me because...
Hey, Voices from Beyond is back in 91.
See, that's fucking... This is getting retarded. I swear, like, that movie has jumped around too.
The thing that makes me sus about this whole thing...
Fuck, it's so annoying.
That it played... Okay, this film festival would have been September, and it didn't actually come out until 13 months later. So...
Same day as Naked Killer, oddly enough.
I'm even suspect that they even showed a finished film. I think this might have been a test screening.
Usually
at a film festival, no.
I've seen test screenings at film festivals.
Yeah, but they're usually like 95%.
I saw Return to Nukem High Volume 2 like fucking like 50% done, and it was like unwatchable at a film festival.
Right, but how is that a normal thing, or is that the exception?
That's a normal.
No,
that's
it's
a normal
not,
thing.
Dude.
Yes,
no,
it is.
Not at film festivals. They have test showings for a reason.
Show me some evidence of that other than anecdotal. That one time you saw something like
that's
that.
a normal thing that people show unfinished movies at film festivals that don't get released for like another year or two.
Dude, we've seen, like, we know so many people that go to these festivals and review these films, and nobody's like, oh, it's 50% different now. Like, I barely ever hear that.
Not like it's
in
not
fact,
like,
out of all the film festival films I've ever seen, I've only seen that happen once.
This is actually going to happen.
Drastically different.
This is actually going to happen to a film that I saw at a film festival.
Different, yeah, I don't mean that they like. All right,
yeah.
So let me just like.
It's gonna be drastically
when
different.
I say it was like 50% done, I don't mean that like 50% of the scenes are different. I mean, like they have unfinished sound effects in certain parts. They have,
of course,
parts without
music. But you really are trying to say that that's
the post production would always kind of make sense.
No, I'm saying that I'm a little sus about the whole thing because it's like such a gap from that would have played in this festival and then didn't come out for 13 more months.
But to be honest,
it's not that big of a gap when you think about like.
I'm just bringing it to that makes me sus.
But to be honest, though, there's a lot of movies that get completely finished and don't get released for a couple years due to studio interference. Maybe there's always an array of reasons of why films don't get released until when they do. We don't know. That movie could have been done and got released a year and a half later. I mean, it's totally plausible. I mean, it happens quite regularly, to be honest.
It just seems strange to me that was the case, and like that's just immediately where my brain went to. I was like, well, honestly, it could have been like a preview showing.
I mean, I do agree with you, Tyler, because when I was looking at the date of the Tokyo screening, I was like, oh shit. And then October 22nd, 1992, same day as Naked Killer, I'm like, fuck, that's a long time in between dates. I'm like, what the fuck happened there?
But is it a long time for the 90s though?
I don't know what that really means.
Poke around and look at some other ones. I bet you see like 8 months, 9 months, like fairly regularly.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely moves a lot faster nowadays. Like you see shit in the fucking film festivals now that is being released either physically or in theater just a couple months after.
We see stuff that's 2 years later though.
I know, and that happens too. But a lot of the reasons why films are being released years after the fact is because there's some type of problem. Like it's not the movie itself. There's some type of internal, maybe studio interference. There's something marketing. We've seen that before where films just didn't know how to be marketed properly, and they just kind of sit on it and they're like, "Hey, we got to wait for maybe the right time to release this film." There's, like I said, there's so many reasons as to why films come out when they do. It's not random, right? So. I don't know.
So like my thing is like, okay, so now let's say that we are going like, here's so basically if we go with the wide release, that's going to be a huge headache for us to determine for every year.
Well, we don't have to. It's like I said, you only do it based on, like I said, if our next year is 2007 and we make a master list the next day, those movies are the films that are eligible because they were 2007 when we made that list.
But they weren't when we recorded the show, though.
But it's never, right? I mean, but we've had multiple films throughout the years change in the middle of prep time. Like it's just, it is irritating to me.
Just don't include them. I don't see why that.
I know, but this one annoys me
because it's a possibility of making someone's list. Is that why?
Yeah, and honestly, dude, if I didn't really like this movie, I would have been like,
other movies, right? Like you can just put a different movie on your list.
I know, but it just annoys me that it was 92, and then the day I watched it was 91. I'm like, what the fuck is? Even my fucking bootleg, even my fucking bootleg even says 90. Like I'm going with my damn bootleg. Yeah. Look at this shit. The Cat, 1992. I'm a little
all right. Just the way.
By the way, this thing looks amazing. This was taken from some type of HD master. It's amazing.
I would just say this: until 75, I had no idea we were even using IMDb because I always just use Letterboxd.
Well, because we use IMDb. You just said that wrong.
Okay, well, either way.
I think you said IMDb.
I was using Letterboxd for several lists, and we never had any conflict. And it says 92 on Letterboxd.
Honestly, man, Letterboxd is very, very wrong a lot of the time. Like, there's more shit wrong on Letterboxd. Like, I've seen years completely off on Letterboxd. It's fucked. It's fucked.
Well, either way, that's something I've never been into a conflict for. And I've been using Letterboxd up until 75, and I still pretty much just use Letterboxd unless I see.
There's definitely a lot of conflict from Letterboxd and IMDb. Like we've had, almost every year I watch one that is not actually eligible, but because
I think there's one you saved us on, like for like one of the years for 36, where we were where it was wrong on Letterboxd and it was different. But I also just submitted to have like the 91 thing removed on IMDb as we were talking. So literally anyone can do this.
Really?
Yeah, like,
but
it's
but
like
what if they
anyone
what if they don't? Like, what if they're like,
I'm
well,
saying
there's
they
proof
could.
that
I'm saying they could just deny it, and like, or it just might be something that never even gets like checked. But it's just like anyone can just submit information on IMDb. You can't do that on Letterboxd, so that's like one thing that makes you a little sus about it.
The fact that it actually came out the same day as Naked Killer.
apparently-
Usually, and this is the thing about why I trust Letterboxd dates a little bit more, is because Letterboxd defaults gets all their information from IMDb, and then they go look at things like overuse of genre tags, inconsistent dates, and they fix them manually.
That's not true.
I promise you it's true, because that's why
But Letterboxd is wrong a lot, though.
I'm saying they're.
I just logged a film the other day. Actually, the year was wrong.
Dude, you can literally change stuff on Letterboxd easier than you can IMDb.
You can? How?
Yeah, because I've changed things. Like, people have had me for films that weren't even logged on there. I've put them on there.
Yeah, you did that for me one time.
Yeah, like, it's actually a pretty easy
I have
process.
ran to movies sometimes. I have ran to before.
You need to put that
I put posters on there.
That Agfa mixtape, man. I watched that. It's not on IMDb.
Well,
so
I didn't know how to do that.
I couldn't log it.
So according to this, now this could change some things. Apparently, where's my mouse? Why'd my mouse stop working? According to Shinji Higuchi, Japanese sponsors signed on to back the film midway through production under the condition that an alternate version be filmed starring a Japanese actor. So, Golden Harvest producer Chu Lam recruited Mayo Hani to write the screenplay, but found that the story she devised was so much different from the more extravagant than the original novel that he also hired her as a director. The result of the film, entitled 9 Lives. So it's a different movie, kind of. The Japanese version is actually it has different credits. The director was different, and the cast was slightly different, I believe.
So what is this Japanese version then? Like, is it been released or what?
So that is possible that movie that is on there.
That makes the most sense to me.
You know what? I'm going to go with that because that makes this 1992.
Well, that makes sense. Well, it makes sense why it would be in Japan. It would make a lot of sense because they got the money from the producer and they slapped in the Japanese stuff. They put it in this Japanese film festival and then they finished the movie and released it.
But didn't you question it though, Tyler, too? Like, why Japanese Tokyo Film Festival? Like, this is a Hong Kong film. Like, it just seems so unlikely to show a Hong Kong film one time at a Tokyo fucking film festival. It makes no sense to me.
That's why it set a red flag when I saw the dates off. So,
dude, me too, man. I was questioning it too. I was like, this can't be real.
That doesn't seem that crazy to me. Honestly.
I don't know. It does seem crazy to me. If you
really look at, like, bro, there's so many. Sometimes all it has to do is, like, one of the companies that fucking produced the movie is Japanese and they screen it first.
Of course. Like I said, there's variables all over the place that dictate where these things get played and how they go down and stuff, for sure.
I mean,
we don't know any of the details.
We see often that, like, even American films screen in, like, fucking Gagslow or something before they even come out here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It is like, I really do look into this stuff a lot and try to, like, narrow down where shit was shown and stuff. And it's pretty common to see stuff like that.
Well, the Toronto Film Festival gets a lot of first time view, like a lot of shit shown there for the first time. That's a big
tons of stuff.
That's a big one. Well, actually, Rob Zombie, what movie was shown there?
And even Fantasia, which is also Canadian.
Yeah. They get a ton of stuff. Yeah.
Fright Fest in the UK, like, that's a big one.
Yeah, that is a big one.
Premieres.
Yeah.
Speaking of premieres,
so it does seem like there might be a different version of the movie that maybe that's confusing. I wonder if that version's ever been released.
That's what I'm wondering, because I'm wondering if that was the version that was shown in Japan at the time, because it, breaking down the history of the film and knowing that it was made a different way and stuff. Like, why wouldn't it have been that version? Why would it have been this one? Like, it makes a lot more sense to be that other version, right? So Unfortunately, you probably won't be able to find the information on that. It seems very kind of like specific, but who knows? Deep dive that one.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting though, because
It is interesting.
That it could be the sense that there needs to be two separate IMDb pages. You know what I mean? If it's like, at what point do you make at what point is it a different film versus a different cut? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because we've seen
different directors and cast and crew makes a pretty good argument for that.
Well, I'm assuming it totally is a different movie if it has a different cast and crew and director. I mean, how could it be this movie? It can't be this movie.
They might probably keep like a lot of. They probably keep a lot of like the practical scenes that don't involve any of the actors or like involve like one actor. And then like a bunch of the other like stories change with Japanese actors.
Because it's not like they were duplicating the cat versus dog scene in this, because apparently
that's probably in both of them.
Like I quickly read the trivia. It says it took them like weeks to film that one scene because it's so ridiculous. But they used real animals. They used real animals, and that's the problem with that.
How long did you say, Moodz?
Something like 6 weeks or something like that?
No, 6 months.
Oh, 6 months. Okay, so I said, I didn't really read it. I just kind of scanned through it. I didn't really read it. I saw 6 because I was like, I didn't even read the trivia.
They used 7 different trained cats in that scene, but
6 months.
So this movie was in production in 1989 is when it started production.
Yeah, well, if you're going to take 6 months for one scene, that's half a fucking year.
They need more money.
They started in the 80s and finished in the 90s. That's crazy. Pretty fucking wild, though.
Pretty interesting. Yeah.
So, what is your verdict now? Knowing, having a little bit more intel and details on this movie possibly being the other version shown in Japan, because
depending on Tyler's ticket that he put in. How did that work? Did it ask you any questions, or did it just? It
just said provide a reason.
What did you say?
I just feel like it did not like this film. This date is not valid. I just threw my.
You should have put it as. You should have put it as it's a different film.
I didn't have that information when I sent that in. I just wanted to. I've never tried to edit something, so I just wanted to see what happened if I clicked edit and tried to change it.
Man, this Wikipedia page for the list of like category 3 films is such garbage. I can tell, like, even looking at it, they're missing so many movies that I know that aren't on there. It's like, what the fuck? Okay.
Yeah. So my verdict is, if it changes, I will include it. If it doesn't, I probably won't include it.
It's so funny because when I was watching this film and I was like so pissed off, I'm like, it's 91. JP is going to make a big fucking ruckus about this shit. And I kept thinking Tony's going to have this on his top 10 list and go, I can't put it on there.
I just don't see the big deal. Just put something else there.
But it's so much. It's kind of a cool
you get to highlight another film.
But people don't remember your top 10 list. They don't care about number 11. They want number 10. If it's the cat, they're like, oh, that's cool. I'm going to go check that out. Fuck
yeah, but is there not a number like? Is there not a comparable? Like, I could see if it was your number 10 and then your number 11, 12, 13 is like dog shit. And you're like, fuck, now I got to put a dog shit movie on there. But you're telling me you can't find 10 movies that you feel strongly about?
What if this is like your number 1?
I'm not saying I can't.
If it's your number 1, then you're fucking wrong anyway. Like,
what do you mean wrong? How could you be wrong about what you like? That's bullshit.
Because
what if it's like your number 5?
A bad choice.
No, it's not.
See,
for your number 1,
it wasn't going to make this list anyway.
If this is you guys' number 1, I'm out.
What do you mean you're out?
Anyway,
that's
what this is.
Your number 1's going to be fucking Candyman.
You grew up with this movie. This is your favorite shit. Get out of here.
Fucking Candy. This was a first time watch for me. I never saw this until yesterday.
I saw it last year and I was like, this is fucking awesome. This is my top.
In fact,
my favorite watches last year.
In fact, all 3 movies that we're doing this week were a first time watch for me. I'd never even seen Dr. Lamb before.
Really? That's actually surprising.
Yeah. The other 2 were first time watches.
Also, I don't know. Like, I think that the one thing that does kind of suck about it is because we've had this happen before with 1986, where we start prepping.
Oh, The House.
And then House ended up 1985.
Yeah.
And everybody, and Brandon and everybody was like, that was probably going to be like my top like 3.
This is the same argument right now.
Everybody was upset, and I was like, dude, who cares? It'll just pop up in 1985. And what happened? It made like 5 people's list in 1985. The only thing that sucks about this is we've already done 91.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought of that. So this actually
it literally can't show up anywhere else unless it moves to 93, which won't happen.
No, that won't happen.
So under that argument, I could be more okay with including it because at that point there's nowhere to put it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to put the good film somewhere, or the fun films, or whatever you want to call them.
I mean, it also helps that I don't really see it making my list. I mean,
I knew it.
I
know it's not your number one because that's Candyman. So,
dude, you say that, and I'm like, I wish it was my number one just so I could fucking.
Oh, honestly, this year is going to be way harder than I thought because I'm looking at like. I always just like rank them as I go along and I figure out later when I look at like which movies are really top 10 worthy. I have like 8 movies, like my literally like 2 through 8 could be any position like within reason and they're all like top 10 worthy and I still have so many heavy hitters I haven't watched.
You know what I rewatched? You know what I rewatched the other night was the Amityville It's About Time movie from 92.
The movie's fun.
That movie, every time I watch it, I like it more. It's so unhinged and stupid. I love it. It's just fucking fun, man.
Well, that's one of those things where, like, I think, like, a lot of people just roll their eyes because it's, like, the 6th Amityville or whatever, which I totally get.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think in, like, and that goes with, like, a lot of the, like, sequels, too. Like, nobody's really thinking, like, oh, Children of the Corn fucking 3 is gonna be anything, you know what I mean? Like, but Children of Corn 3 is pretty fun and it's a little wacky. It's in the hood, you know.
It's no part 4 though.
It's better than part 4. But no, like the cat, like it has potential to make my list. Like, I'm not like discounting it because it was pretty fucking wild. But I just haven't really got deep in, like, there's a lot of my favorite movies that came out this year. And that's where I kind of like teeter back and forth. Like, do I make, like, if I grew up with a movie and I've seen it like 9 times, is that like more interesting to me than the cat that I've liked, but I've only seen once?
Well, I mean, you could rewatch it at the end of the year.
Well,
yeah, that's what my rule is. No movie will. I won't put a movie on my top 10 unless I watched it at least twice.
I don't like that rule.
I mean, I would definitely rewatch the cat. Definitely.
I just
here's the thing about
the playoffs.
Like, the reason that I've never subscribed to this, like, you have to like see a movie a couple times before it could be a favorite of yours. Like, and I guess like a favorite movie to revisit, sure. But like one of my favorite experiences is Climax, like Gaspar Noé's Climax. And it's like that, no matter how many times I rewatch that movie, it's never going to capture like that first like moment where I was like, didn't know what was going on and like the uncomfortable nature that happened while watching it that first time. So like, to me, that first time experience is why it's one of my favorites, but it has nothing to do with rewatching the movie. And the same thing goes for like some of the more hardcore movies that I've seen. Like, I don't really need to go revisit the Irreversible, another fucking no film. But like, cause like,
which I've seen that movie like 3 or 4 times, but yeah,
that movie made my top 10 of 2002. And I've only seen it one other time since then.
Yeah.
But I would still consider that one of my favorite movies of 2002, but I've only seen it once at that time, you know? So it's like, I don't think that necessarily rewatching movies and it becoming like a regular rotation movie outweighs like you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that matters as much, but it does matter a little bit. I think, I think
for the purposes of, if I watch a movie and I love it and I'm like, wow, that's going to be in my top 10 this year, I think I rewatch those movies before we do the show more for a vocal standpoint. It's more to like familiarize myself with it, just kind of get back into it, and sometimes, when you rewatch films, man, you do notice other things though too. Sometimes good, sometimes bad.
Yeah, and that's why I always go for the 2-watch thing when we do our top 10 list. Well, like first, I just enjoy, like I've talked about this before. I just enjoy like what I call my playoff round, where I save the movies I've already seen multiple times that I know how I feel like, that I save till the end, and then the movies I saw like along the way for the first time that I thought like had potential. I watch it again, and it's fun to see like how they all line up against each other, and like how I feel like with them all watching them all within like a short period of time. And like some movies, like Moodz said, like you kind of like need a second watch to reveal like all the context of it. Like for example, I think like Hereditary, when you like understand everything that's happened, it makes like scenes in the first, like you would have not understood the context from the first movie. It makes it like a hell of a lot better. So there are movies that get better like that on rewatches. And there's movies that kind of have like a big like reveal or like a big heightened thing that just like they don't feel as good the second time, and maybe that's why where they get shifted around. And there's obviously
but is that a detriment to the movie though? You know what I mean?
That's why like my favorite. Well, it's not so much as a detriment to the movie, because there's movies that still work with like in that same regard, like something like Psycho or like Rosemary's Baby will always like be as effective for me, but that's just because like they're better than other movies that try to do the same thing where like you can see the same stinger over and over. But I just look at it this way, like my favorites are the movies that like when I watch it, I want to like I'm looking forward to the next time I watch it right away, and like I feel like I need to do that and within like again like within next year, where there's movies I like but or I'll watch, I'm like, okay, that was fun, and like I'm not like really worried when I'm ever going to see it again. You know what I mean?
Is there such a thing as a movie that's meant to be watched one time and that's it?
I mean, I'm sure some people would make that type of argument, and like there's some movies that
You're
I think
muted,
were, like,
Moodz.
that were like insane experiences that like I don't like have any urge to like I don't have any urgency to watch again, but I would never watch them again. You know what I mean?
So, like for example, in 1992, there's a handful of movies here that I've watched more than anything else, right? Like the movies on this list that I've seen more than any other movies is like Children of the Corn 2, Sleepwalkers, Pet Sematary 2, and Army of Darkness. I've seen those movies probably 10 plus times each, at least. Okay. Right? And notice Candyman was not included in that list. Moodz.
Interesting.
Like
doesn't change. It doesn't change a thing.
Believe it or not, I've probably only seen Candyman like 5 times in my life.
I've probably seen it like 6,
I remember when it came out in like on video. I think we watched it like 3 or 4 times in one weekend.
Jesus.
I know. I mean, not fully attentive to it because, you're 12, 13 years old, whatever it was. And yeah.
So here's an example of a movie as well that like I think like rewatching it close to playoff time, as you call it, would hurt the movie. So Ghost Watch was great. We reviewed it on the show, right? Me and Moodz really loved it. I had seen the first time I had seen it, it was effective. This time watching it, it was really effective, but I think it also helped that there was a big gap in between the time that I seen it the first time. I feel like if I watched it again so soon, it wouldn't have that impact that I had this second time.
I guess it all depends on how you perceive the films, though, right? Like everyone's different with that. Like sometimes you're watching films for different reasons, but I get it, Lo, because Ghost Watch is kind of one of those impactful films, right? It's like
you almost need to forget about some of the stuff that is going to happen.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I feel like now that I've seen it twice, like I actually like won't forget about it again. You know what I mean?
But that I guess it comes down to like the difference of viewers as well. Because me, if I like wait like 6 months to a year, I'll fucking forget half the movie, bro.
I might forget about it like in like a couple years or something, like or like in 5 years or something. But like I feel like now that I've seen it twice, I wouldn't forget.
dude,
But
that
I
was
did
like,
kind of not remember everything when we watched them. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember this. This was like this. They did a good job with this part.
Even the cat, right? If I rewatch the cat before we record, like the day before, I'm probably gonna not like it as much. Like, just because like I've already seen this.
well,
Like,
with that attitude, yeah.
I've
Come on.
just watched this. Like I already know what's gonna happen. Like I remember this scene. Yeah, okay, I saw that scene. Like that happens to me a lot. Like I don't know, and maybe it's because of like how much stuff we watch, where I'm just like I would just rather watch something else that I haven't seen in a long time. But like when I was a kid, I could watch a movie and instantly want to watch it again like 2 minutes later. But like that doesn't really work on me anymore. Like I need time in between views.
So that's where, like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it depends what it is, man. Like for me, it really does. I mean, if I was to pop in Dawn of the Dead, like I could probably watch it again next weekend. Like it's
me too. I could watch it back to back, but that's also because it's like I know I just love that movie so much.
I would actually say what's interesting is in my experience doing like my little playoff thing that I've done since I didn't do it all the way with 80, but I started in 2011, is the movies have actually like gotten better on like the watch closer to playoff time for the most part.
You know, a movie I revisited was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I had not seen that movie since it came out. Literally.
I've never seen it.
Yeah. Ultimately, though, I think it just comes to what you like the most now. Because even like you said, if you've seen a movie 10 times, it's like maybe you like that like a lot more, like the first like 7 times you saw it.
If I made my list purely based on favorites for like a year like 92, like Children of the Corn 2 would literally be my number one.
Well, then it should be your number one because that's how you should
No,
make
that's
your list.
fucking stupid, dude.
Why is dude? It's your
not that-
favorite. Is it not your favorite movie?
It's my favorite movie. It's my favorite movie to watch. That's
Then it
where
should be your
it's
number
like,
one. Then that's how I
But
do my
is it
list.
though? Is it because like again it goes
The
back
best
to, like,
movie of a
that's
year
because-
is never usually even close. Sometimes it does work out that my favorite film could be the best
and
movie of the year.
sometimes it does with me too. But
Yeah.
like I try to factor in like what movie I think is like my like the the best experience that I've had and like favorite and combine that. Because like Children of the Corn 2 is not the best experience I've had watching a movie in 92. It's just the one that it's nostalgic. It's one that I like to revisit because it's easy to watch. And I remember watching it as a kid and I just like it. It's stupid. But it's like
I just
can't
rewatched
really
it too.
say that like that to me is better than Army of Darkness. Like I think Army of Darkness is a better movie and it's probably more like that's where it's weird. It's like, is it more of a favorite? Kind of, but kind of not. Like I would if you gave me two options right now, pick one to watch, Children of Corn 2 or Army of Darkness, I'd probably pick Children of Corn 2. But that's not to say that the experience of me watching Army of Darkness wasn't a better experience. So that's where it's like kind of
you're making it too difficult, man. Just go with your gut.
I do. My gut would not put Children of the Corn 2 in my number one. But that like because they're all right. Like you're on a desert island, right? And people make this thing, pick 10 movies that you'd want to have on a desert island or whatever. Well, there's ways to factor in that because like, are you just picking like the 10 movies that you like to rewatch the most? Are you picking the like 10 movies that you haven't seen but love so that it's
I would have to pick a variety if I
bored?
had 10.
Like there's more like when you make your number one selection for your top 10, what are you factoring in the most?
Rewatchability.
So rewatchability is how you do yours.
It also has to be like a favorite film, but like, I mean, going back to the desert island thing, it would actually be very easy for me. It's like if I could take 10 albums and 10 movies, it wouldn't actually be that hard for me. Like I would take Dawn of the Dead because I can watch it every day. I would take Day of the Dead because I can watch it every fucking day. I would take The Beyond. Like it's simple for me. These movies I can pop in any fucking time and never feel like I'm just watching it because I need to. Like it's because I want to, right?
Yeah.
Like with music, I would take Midnight Marauders as my favorite album of all time. I'm obviously taking that. but then I factor in like, what albums can I listen to over and over? Black Moon, End of the Stage. I'm taking that record. Like, it's just, that's who I am. And that's what I want to listen to over and over and over again, or even watch. Like, for me, I simplify things and I'm like, okay, what would I not get bored with? And I mean, Romero, fuck, dude. Like, it's crazy. I'd probably even throw Night in there too. Like, I can watch it over and over again. So.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, cause I pretty much don't do that usually, because like, for example, just let's take the year 2020, right? My number one film was The Golden Glove. I've never seen it again.
I still actually don't even own a copy of that because it's annoying to buy. So,
like, brand releasing.
I would love to rewatch. I watched it twice that year. I still can't believe to this day that was your number one film. That's fucking mind blowing to me. But that I would love to rewatch that because that movie was super filthy and gross and awesome. It's just very memorable. I would love to rewatch it. Like, do you not have the hanking to rewatch that movie? Because
I would rewatch it again.
Yeah,
I like that movie a lot. But again, 5 years have passed, so it's like I'm more interested to rewatch it right now.
It's almost like watching it for the first time again.
Same thing with The Possessor, really. Like I would like to revisit that one soon.
Yeah,
maybe the next time that Cronenberg puts out a movie, times. I might revisit it. Like a film like
multiple times.
I watched it three times that year.
A film like VFW, right? VFW didn't even make my list, and I've seen it probably 3 times since it came out. From that year,
it's such an easy watch, right? Like, I mean, it also depends on the type of movie, though, too, right? It's like,
right, and I think that does factor in a lot. There's the type of movie.
I always use Martyrs as the example because I love Martyrs, but it's something I don't want to watch weekly. You know what I mean?
I don't even want to watch it every couple years.
Yeah, it almost feel like you're working when you're watching that movie because it's so intense, right?
That's a good.
Honestly, like with my lists, I used to think when my first couple lists, I thought way harder into it. Maybe I weighed more things, kind of like JP did. But now when I do my rankings, I literally just go like, if I have these movies next to each other, which one would I rather watch? And all right, so which one would I rather
interesting
right now? And if I go this one, and that's how it gets ahead.
See, I can't do it that way because my mood is maybe it's because I'm so moody, but like my mood affects what I want to watch.
Are you the real Moodz here?
Right, yeah. So if I have a film like Golden Glove and Spontaneous next to each other, I'm probably going to pick Spontaneous most of the time. But I think Golden Glove's a better movie and I had a better experience with it the time that I watched it. But I don't want to revisit it often. Spontaneous is like funny and fun. So I'd rather revisit that.
It's interesting. So I'll just because fresh mind, I'll use this as an example. When I was doing my 2024 prep, if I would have gone just on like the first time I watched it, like The Substance easy would have been my number one. That was like my best like first time watch of the year. But like my like third watch of like I Saw the TV Glow was like my best watch of anything that year. If that makes sense. And,
I could see that. I could see that movie having that effect because I think the first time you watch it, you're kind of just like not sure what it's about. And like you have to piece it together and then you have to do some research afterwards to like see all the like nooks and crannies of like the concept. But then by the time you know some of that stuff and you revisit it and you're like, wow, that's way more impactful than I would have even noticed. Whereas like The Substance is more like easily digestible to see what they're talking about, to see like the points they're making right away.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, I agree with you on that, but I also think that The Substance was the right choice for me, even though, and I didn't rewatch I Saw the TV Glow, but I could see if I rewatched it like you did 2 more times, I could see it going up. I for sure can.
Yeah, I actually watched it like 4 times. I actually watched it like 4, and I've been thinking about watching it like again. Yeah,
but it's very interesting how we each make our list a little bit differently. Like for the longest time, I mainly just sorted it by rating, like because it was just easy. So the list made itself. I didn't have to think about it.
Yeah, but, for a fact I never did that because like I had ratings all over I mean, it's become a little bit more uniform, I guess, with how you put it with my.
I kind of just uniformize it. anyway.
I'll
Just
still
go,
rank
all right.
those. I'll still rank those. Yeah, something's 8 out of 10. I'll take this. I like this one a little bit more than this one, kind of thing. But it has become like that over the years. But it's still, my lists are still like my favorite movies. Like I leave off movies off lists that, you know, I know are better. You know, it's like, it comes down to the whole shot on video conversation. It's like, shot on video films are probably not better than a lot of, you know, film shot on film, you know, and stuff like that. So, but it turns out that I like a lot of these movies. And that's why they end up on these lists and stuff like that. It's like, look at 91, man. There was a bunch of shot on video films there was probably better made films that I even liked that were left off the list, but it's not because, you know, these other ones made the list because they were favorites, right? So I don't know. I feel like it's so simple in my mind on how I do my list and how I perceive films and how I watch things too. Like, I mean, I get it though, JP, like when it comes down to just watching films, like I'm very moody with it too. Like, I don't want to watch certain things when I'm in a mood. If I'm really happy, I want to watch something fun. Honestly, I will admit though, like if I'm in a shit mood and I need something to like just kind of cheer me up, man, I want to watch something that like Kaufman did. You know, like I want to watch A Toxic Avenger. I want to watch like fucking Class of Nukem High. Like I watch those late night all the time, and it always just kind of like just puts a smile on my face. It kind of brings me up. Like that's me. That's me. You know what I mean? So, but if I'm in a I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of times we watch so many films because of the show. It kind of hinders our. I mean, we do have a break and stuff like that, and we can watch whatever we want. But like, there's
like
so much.
Our rewatching, yeah, it does.
Well, it does. I mean, but like, we're prepping so much. Like right now, we're doing 92, we're doing 59, we're doing the regular shows, we're doing so much prep. We're doing 2025. So we're doing so many different shows at one time that we honestly don't have a lot of time just to like throw in Dawn of the Dead. You know what I mean? Or The Beyond.
Yeah.
Or House by the Cemetery. We don't really do a lot of that. I try to mix it up because my mentality tells me I need to.
And you throw on top like all the stuff that you just buy that you like want to watch as well. So you throw that in too, and it's like, do you really go and get stuff off the shelf?
No, I definitely
watched, you know?
Well, to be honest,
a lot of my rewatches are like stuff I bought that are rewatches.
Well, with us doing the Simbin podcast with Vinegar Syndrome, like I try to watch all the releases that come out and all my sister label stuff too, because that's still prep for shows that we're doing. So in theory,
I've been trying. You're killing two birds. Yeah, I've been trying to do that a little bit more too. But I've been. I'm gonna be honest. Like this past month, like the last 30 days of my life, I've probably watched like the least amount of stuff in a while because I just been so damn busy.
I just thought you weren't updating your letterbox because I always check your guys' letterboxes.
Well, yeah, that is a factor too because I kind of take.
I didn't update my letterbox for like 5 weeks or something, and I just shotgunned it all out one time.
Yeah, it went from like 100 and something films to like 200, like one fucking day. I was like, holy shit!
It was 58 logs, I think.
Yeah,
I think I have like 5 to log right now. I actually watched Larry Clark's Marfa Girl 1 and 2 the other day.
Oh, nice. How were those? Because I haven't watched them yet, actually.
They're Larry Clark films, but they're not as good as some of his other stuff.
Right.
They're his last 2 movies, and it's weird because like Marfa Girl 2 is like a direct follow-up to the first film that takes place like 3 years later. It's just about like some half Mexican kid, so I could relate a little bit.
So it's about you.
Who lives in like Texas, and it's just his birthday, and it's like a day in the life of his birthday where there's like this border patrol agent that like harasses him, and then there's this like his friends, this like older girl that he hooks up with and his girlfriend that he hooks up with, and then this other girl, Marfa Girl, she's like an older chick who is like really like a hippie sex girl kind of thing. And it's just like, you know, it's funny. You read reviews and people are like, I can only watch Larry Clark film underage sex so many times before I start questioning some things. Like it's kind of a fair point. But at the same time, like, I don't know. Would it surprise me if Larry Clark turned out to be like some kind of like, you know, abuser or something? No, it really wouldn't surprise me. But at the same time, the reason
don't tell me that he's gonna get outed as some like guy that's slanging like pedo fucking porno.
Dude,
and
he's
shit.
like 82. It better happen quick.
God damn, dude. Fuck, that would piss me off, actually.
Like, the reason I like his movies is because they're just raw. Like, it's they showcase teenage sexuality and all the actors of age, so it's not like actual teenagers, it's just the characters they're playing are teenagers. And I just think that I think that it just is a side of like humanity that we don't see often but we all know exists. We were all teenagers, we all like were obsessed with like sexual things when we were teenagers, especially as young men. And I think that it and it's sort of like, if depending on like your background, like, I mean, just my background, like kids were having sex a bunch, you know what I mean? Like teenagers were having threesomes and swapping partners and stuff in my school like crazy. So it always sort of
I remember the days, man.
It always sort of like, I always like looked at those movies and I'm like, dude, this is like my youthhood on film. Like everybody's doing drugs and partying and having sex and stuff, and it's raw. And
I can relate to it though, man. Like I was 14 when I lost my virginity. Like, I was 14.
I was 16. But I was trying since I was like 12.
Well, of course, we all were, but it happened when I was 14. But like, it's kind of crazy. Like, watching fucking like kids, like you can just like relate to that shit though. It's like, this is what we're doing right now. It's crazy.
Yeah. And kids was like the one, because it's like, it was the first to really do that. And we've seen some other films since then from Larry Clark and other people who've kind of captured that same vibe. But yeah, I liked both of the movies. They were pretty cool. They're a little meandering and kind of like all over the place at times. And there's some real weird shit that happens. Like the Border Patrol dude got some serious shit going on in his head that's fucked up. So yeah, there's some weird shit with that. But yeah, I think I now have seen all Larry Clark's stuff except for like the non like disaffected youth films. I think didn't he do one like Teenage Caveman or something like that? I think that's like a comedy.
Yeah, I never seen that one.
But yeah, I really like Ken Park is probably his most like explicit like weird movie.
Yeah,
Kids is his best movie. Oh no, Bully is his.
I
best
like Bully.
Movie. Yeah, I think Bully is his best movie. That's the most movie of his movies.
I mean, in terms of, Kids is by far my favorite, but Bully is. It's raw as fuck because like he really does portray the true story quite.
Oh, it's like super accurate.
It's super accurate and it's like brutal, man. It's just it's so raw. Like I would rather watch Kids though because it's like it's more up my alley too. But yeah, Bully.
You know the weird thing that last time I was watching
Bully.
So last time I was watching Bully, there's the scene where the bully and like the other dude are sitting there watching like MTV or something, and it's Dr. Dre's Forgot About Dre, and Eminem is famously in that song, and it's like, it shows that part where he's like, bunch of gibberish motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. But then when you actually think about it, so in Guilty Conscience that came out around the same time, Eminem says to Dr. Dre, ain't you ever seen that one movie Kids?
Yeah.
And then Larry Clark put an Eminem Dr. Dre song in
But
Bully.
That's why he did it though.
Is that what I was wondering? I was like, that's so fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
I never put that together because Eminem name dropped Kids in Guilty Conscience.
Yeah.
And then Larry Clark put Forgot About Dre.
And you ever seen that one movie Kids? No, but I've seen a porno with Son Dubious. Yes, I love Funk Dubious, man. Like that's awesome.
This is a wild song. But yeah, I also got to see Fright Night in the theater with live commentary from Amanda Beers, William Ragsdale, and Stephen Jeffries.
Nice. Went
to Gettysburg.
Actually, Stephen Jeffries is going to be at the next Wasteland.
So is Ragsdale.
Yeah, because they're doing so Amanda Beers isn't going to be there. That sucks.
It's probably because they like Wasteland is kind of. I'm sure their budget has kind of went down, and Amanda Beers is probably the bigger of the group. But that commentary was not very good.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Amanda Beers was really funny, but it was one of those things where they sort of just watched the movie and like forgot to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which sometimes that happens, especially if like the people don't, because it's a weird thing. Like people ask you to like go over to this theater and do a live commentary, and you don't really know if like have these people seen this movie before? Like, am I supposed to not really talk much? Are we supposed to try to watch it, or am I supposed to talk during the movie?
I mean, it's
Because
fucking Fright
you're
Night,
told
though.
your whole life though not to talk in a theater, right? So
Yeah,
it's like sort
I
of
feel
a
weird about doing that.
weird situation because it's like a real like nice theater too that has like tons of seats in it and it's a huge screen and stuff. Like it's a legit theater. And so that one wasn't really that good, but I I have the same issue that, and I was hoping because seeing these movies in the theater always sort of have a chance to really make you appreciate them more. And that happened with last year with Evil Dead, when which I've always appreciated Evil Dead, but like it fucking put it sky high for me after last year's screening. But it didn't really have that effect with Fright Night. So it started to have that effect. And I'm like, man, I really like Fright Night. This is awesome. I love like Charlie and Amanda Bierce's character, like making out. The TV comes on with Peter Vincent, and it like reminds you of being a kid when shit didn't really matter at the time. It has a good vibe to it. And then like the whole Rear Window aspect, and Jerry Dandridge is like a really cool creepy vampire. There's some funny moments in it. Evil Ed's character is so weird and kooky. The mom character, and like just when he comes home and you see dude's fingers like hitting the back of the chair and you're like, shit, they invited him in. All that is awesome. And then the movie comes to a fucking screeching halt at the club scene. It's so boring. And for someone, and what I was thinking while watching this? I'm like, for someone who fucking talks so much shit on romance, Moodz, you have this fucking almost like 40-minute section of the movie that is just about Jerry Dandridge seducing fucking Amanda Bierce.
Yeah, it's my least favorite part in the scene.
Slows the movie down.
But you
so
also have to understand though too, like Fright Night for me it's so beyond nostalgic, but it's also what got me into horror films though. Like it's one of the earliest films I ever remember watching, at such a young age and not really understanding the romance aspect of it and stuff like that. Yeah, but like watching it nowadays, I'm just like, yeah, it's a little elongated. They probably could have done something a little bit different with that. Like Tom Holland kind of fucked up with that one a little bit, but
the funniest thing too, me and Carly are sitting there watching it, and we were there with our friend Tim and Dave. What the hell's his name? I forget. I think his name's Dave. I can't remember.
Classic.
Oh no, Chris O'Brock. Yeah, that guy. He's in Krakoon as well. And Tim's girlfriend. And we're sitting there and they're all excited to go see this screening. So we're over there, drinking. I got a couple beers in my cooler, so I could drink beer while watching the movie. I look over at that scene happens. I start getting bored. I look over. Tim's like, straight passed out. I was like, yes. I was like, it's because of this scene, dude. This scene slows the movie down so much. But Fright Night is a really solid movie overall. It could have been a masterpiece for me if it just didn't have all that shit going on. It takes up too much time.
Way too much time. I agree.
And then I also caught Wishmaster, the screening of Wishmaster with Robert Kurtzman and Andrew Devoff doing a live commentary. That live commentary was much better. You could tell they've done some commentaries in the
He's
past.
a cool guy, man. I met him last year, I think. And
Devoff.
Yeah, he's a fucking cool dude, man.
He's funny.
Yeah, I liked him, man. He was really cool. Yeah.
And that was actually really enjoyable. That made me appreciate Wishmaster so much more too. That movie is literally like such a, when years ago when the Expendables came out and everybody was like, oh, they need to make like a horror Expendables, call it the Slashables, you get all these horror actors in it.
Yep.
Wishmaster is that movie essentially. Like you got Tony Todd, you got fucking Robert Englund. There's Reggie Bannister, Angus Scrimm does the opening narration, Wes Craven produced. Like it's really a hodgepodge of all these like iconic horror people involved in this movie. And honestly, the story's like pretty solid. It's just a be careful what you wish for thing. The Jinn looks really cool. There is some like shitty 90s effects in it with like some CG and stuff. Which the director Kurtzman said, like, the one scene with the glass with Kane Hodder where he says, I would love to see you walk through me or something. He's like, that's probably my biggest regret of the movie is like how that thing turned out, because they had Screaming Mad George who like painted this like glass picture of like Kane Hodder and stuff, and it just didn't quite work. So, but Screaming Mad George like does a bunch of the effects in there, which is cool. They talked a lot about how everybody in the fucking movie smokes cigarettes. Like, it's insane. Like, there's next time you watch Wishmaster, watch how many people smoke in that movie. The whole movie is hazy because it's all the smoke. And yeah, it was cool when Tony Todd's name popped up in the opening credits. Like, the audience had like a good like,
yeah,
that's the boy. And there was a nice like tribute to Tony Todd from the director and Divoff and stuff, and it was just dope. It was a fun screening. Weird movie to see in the theater, in terms of like, it's not really like a classic like Fright Night or something,
right.
But it has respect in the horror genre to an extent. It has a franchise.
He's in the new Final Destination movie though, right?
Yeah, his final role, I believe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, rest in peace, Tony Todd. But that was a lot of fun. I didn't meet Charles Band. I almost did, but the one day that I was,
you never met him before?
No, I've never met him.
Oh shit. Okay.
But the one day I was going to go down and meet him, he took like a break or something, and I didn't end up going to meet him. But they did have a full moon table there. I didn't buy anything. I really didn't buy much there this time. I did buy this hat.
I noticed the new. I like it. It's cool.
And I bought a Halloween 3 ball cap hat as well, which was cool. I like hats. I bought 3 hats. And I bought a Suspiria one as well.
Wow.
But it was a good time. I drank a lot on Saturday.
So is it just like you and Carly went?
Yeah, me and Carly went, and we knew a couple people that was there that we mostly hung out with.
Right.
Our friend Tim he's an actor. He's in Cracula and Crackoon and T-Rexorcist, I think.
T-Rexorcist?
Yeah, these Brad Twiggs movies.
Amazing. It's amazing.
And then we met a couple other people too. And yeah, it was fun. Carly went to Wasteland this past weekend, but I did not go.
I was actually going to ask you why you didn't go.
Mainly this show, but also I just wanted to I was like exhausted and didn't feel like traveling 2 weekends in a row.
I wouldn't mind going to this one because like I've never met Michael Berryman before. I've never met Felicia Rose. I think there was someone else there that I wanted to meet, and like I was like, shit, dude, I know the regulars in all these shows, but I seem to miss them. So I'm like, fuck.
Apparently,
I've never met them.
That her and Parker were talking to Linnea Quigley because
Linnea Quigley. I've never met her before either.
Oh, I met her.
That's the third one. Yeah,
I met her. Parker had done like some movie with her before or something. They were like reminiscent about that or something. I don't know.
Him and Leanna Quigley.
Yeah, and then
what was he with Leanna Quigley?
I have no clue.
I don't even know.
I could be mixing up my story. Honestly,
yeah, I was going to say I don't know what the fuck that would
be. Carly said that she talked to Lynn Lowry.
Lynn Lowry was
she
there.
Gave her a hug and remembered her. They did
because I Drink My Blood reunion there, right?
Was that why?
I think that's why she was there. I think there was a bunch of people from I Drink Your Blood, which is fucking awesome, man. Pretty cool.
And I guess they were talking to either Linnea or Lynn, and they were like, let's go talk to Lynn, or whoever was like, let's go talk to Michael Berryman. So Carly went over and they were talking to Michael Berryman and stuff.
Fucking awesome.
So that sounds kind of cool that it was like she got to interact with these people in like not a like fandom type way.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I like about Wasteland, man. It's small enough that you can do that shit, right? It's not like a fan con where you couldn't do that at these bigger conventions kind of thing. So
if Wasteland ever goes away, and I know there have been talk, Gettysburg really would be a it just sucks that it's not in Ohio. It's like further east, but it is like so the vibe is so similar. It's like if you pictured Wasteland, but the hotel wasn't shitty. as like maybe back in the day how
Yeah, didn't
Wasteland
Carly
was.
say the fucking the elevator wasn't even working?
No,
It haven't worked in years.
Oh, she had
I started
they
going
had
there
one
10
that
years ago and they
works.
weren't working.
Yeah, it
Fuck.
had one that worked, but didn't go to the last floor. So like to get on like the floor, she had to like get off one early
on the 5th floor and walk up to the 6th. What a bunch of bullshit that
Creature
is.
feature is like two instead of one room, it's like two rooms almost. And then they're like the celebrities are all in their own room. And then it has a bar similar to Wasteland.
Yeah.
But the bar but they have
the bar
karaoke.
serves drinks.
Yeah, they have karaoke. But the cool thing is they have a theater next door, like a real theater with like, a multi.
Oh, I would love that.
They rent out one of the screens the whole weekend, and they show like real movies and like indie films in there. So it's super dope. Like it is the dopest setup that is out there, I think.
I mean, everyone always complains about like, the amenities at Wasteland and stuff like that. It doesn't really bother me. It's like, I'm there for, as long as my bed is clean, I don't give a fuck.
Right. And I really don't care either because I don't really go to hotels to stay in the room anyway.
I mean, I go there to grab beers.
Stay in the room.
I go into my room to grab another beer and then I'm down in the wherever. Yeah. So it doesn't matter.
It's so similar in that aspect. Like it's easy to, like it just has the right space and the right design to make it like flow good. And it's like the same shit. Like at the end of the night, after the vendor room closes, everybody's either in the bar or standing out front of the hotel,
right?
And it's just like, it's so comparable to Wasteland, but the only thing that sucks is that there's not a lot of people I know that go to it.
Right. But I mean, if Wasteland, I mean, it has been talked about that it's going to be ending and stuff like that, but I haven't heard that since I think the last show. I mean, I don't know if the talk was happening at this one and stuff like that, but, I don't know, man. It's all.
I don't know. I think even if whoever runs it stops doing it, someone else will just pick it up.
Right. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, man. It's pretty iconic.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But if I could get you guys to ever come to Gettysburg in March, I think it would be so. You guys.
Gettysburg sounds kind of appealing. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, like Tyler and
I would be down to go.
They get bigger people to like guests.
I don't really care about the people. That's one thing I've like kind of like. I don't like spending money like on getting stuff autographed and like.
Yeah, I don't really either. Anymore.
I do. I'm kind of the opposite of you guys, like because like it's just for me. I'm just such a fan, and like I like to meet people that I'm interested in. Like I don't really care about meeting like big time actors and stuff. I want to meet people that I'm into, and like people like Anna Quigley and stuff. Like I mean, I've been watching her my whole life. It'd be cool to meet Felicia Rose. Same thing, right? So.
Yeah, I've already met those two. I've met Felissa a couple times. Actually, funny enough, Moodz, you weren't there, but Felissa, not to brag a little bit, but I met Felissa like 3 different times now, and I think it's to the point where she like remembers who I am. She actually came up to me while I was in the bar and like said hi and stuff. I was like, "Yo, this is awesome."
That's fucking awesome, dude.
You know what the best part about that story was?
What?
The best part about what was going on also in the story was Mason was like stuck at the bar trying to get a shot to do a Felissa for like literally 45 minutes.
I did not know that even.
Yeah, and like while that was going on, she just walked over the table that like Oliver's was saying. It was like, "Hi, Jeffrey." She was wasted.
That's awesome.
She gave me a hug and stuff. I was like, "Yo, this is cool."
Yeah, she was. You know what I mean, like the wasted girl, because it was like just gives everybody hugs. Like that's what happened when Mason was like waiting at the bar trying to get her a shot, 11 shots.
She's giving love to everyone else.
And then the bartender gave him after 45 minutes flavor like plain vodka, a pile of sugar, and a lemon.
Ooh, that's so gross.
That's rough. And then I also did check out. I went to the Charlie Band screening of Evil Bong, and he did like a 30-minute intro to that, which was pretty cool. It was cool to hear him talk about movies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, he just seemed so like, yeah, basically, guys, the indie industry is pretty much like dead now. It's like it's kind of like negative a little bit, where he's just like, you really have to fight for anything these days. Like streaming pretty much killed what was left of it.
Right.
And just like it was just interesting to hear that perspective, like which we all kind of,
but it's not going to stop him from putting out like 45 fucking movies in the next 2 years. So,
well, yeah, I mean, but now it's like you can't put any money into them basically because you won't get a return. But he did an intro to Evil Bong, and then he actually stayed for about 30 minutes of Evil Bong and then left. But it was interesting hearing him talk about Evil Bong because it was like sort of like that third wind of Full Moon, essentially. Yeah. So he just said that the most two successful film series in the history of Full Moon is Puppet Master, obviously. And the second most profitable is Evil Bong.
It doesn't surprise me that Subspecies wasn't the second one because, like, I think those are actually legitimately pretty good movies.
Yeah.
That's weird. I can't believe Evil Bong is really. But then again, there's 8 of them.
There's 8, which I guess if you think about that aspect, like, well, they wouldn't have kept making them if they weren't profitable.
Exactly.
But I guess it sort of captured a whole different like audience of people, which was like the stoners and stuff.
Yeah,
because Charles Band basically said like he never really smoked weed and he never really liked it. But his sons were talking about like movies back in like 2005 or whenever Evil Bong came out, and his son basically gave him the idea for the movie, and then he didn't give him a credit for it, and his son was pissed. And then years later,
typical Charles Band. What a dick.
He basically said like, son, you got to learn that show business is tough.
Oh my God. What an asshole. What an asshole.
Dickhead.
And then, so they're making
this
it
is the most
like
Charles Band parroting thing I've ever heard.
Right. Yeah. For this year, the 20th anniversary of Evil Bong, which is crazy to say.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They're doing like that thing that they do with like a lot of their properties where they make a movie out and like they shoot like 10 minutes of footage and then it's a clip show basically.
Yeah.
So it's like another entry in the Evil Bong series, but it's just like a highlight reel essentially. And he didn't give him a credit on that either, I guess. And I guess it's 20 years later, it's still a conversation with his son.
Now he gave him a fake big box in return for the idea.
Tommy Chong was there as well, which was pretty cool. I didn't meet him. That is somebody I would have liked to meet, but I think he was like $90 or something like that.
Damn, dude.
And he wasn't even doing selfies at the table. Like you had to go like do like one of the photo ops or whatever.
Well, I don't understand that shit, dude. Like, just do it raw.
Well, I understand with Tommy Chong because he's kind of old, dude. Like, he probably doesn't want to stand up every 2 seconds.
No, he is fucking old for sure.
Like, I know that some other actors.
I think there's another Cheech and Chong movie coming out, actually.
It's a documentary kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
He's 86, bro.
Yeah. And still smoking like he's fucking 16.
So, funny enough, Charles Band talked about how they got Tommy Chong for the first movie, Evil Bong, for that little cameo part. Yep. And that was when he went like literally just got out of federal or state, federal penitentiary or whatever, and went and filmed that because of those bongs. He did like time in prison for bongs.
Yeah, it was fucking bullshit.
Yeah, and it was his son's company, and he just like took the fall for it because he's a good dad.
Yeah, actually, my buddy went to school with Chong's son. It's kind of funny, actually.
You know something else I didn't know about Tommy Chong? He's Canadian.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. My buddy Ty actually went to school. My buddy Ty actually went to school with his son. That's what I was trying to allude to.
He was born in Alberta.
Yeah, so they went to BCIT together, actually. Yeah.
Just when you think there's no cool Canadians.
Oh, fuck. Jesus. Got tons of cool Canadians, man. Fucking Nickelback's Canadian. Come on, man.
But yeah, so that was fun.
You can have them, right?
You guys do anything or see anything?
Yeah, man. I actually do want to talk about Death of a Unicorn.
Oh, okay.
I did not see it, but go ahead.
Because me and Tyler surprisingly have very different views on this, and I thought it was fucking pretty terrible. Tyler said it was like a turn your brain off. I mean, it is. It's like a turn your brain off type film. But I'm watching.
Is it artsy at all?
No.
It's just like a dumb like
No, it's stupid. Honestly, the
It's
construction of
very
the movie.
predictable. Like that's all correct about it.
So
It's all
I
very-
literally wrote
it's
down,
very predictable.
this movie is predictable as farts after eating a can of beans.
Yeah, it's very predictable, and the message, like the whole like satire, is a little bit too heavy. But I don't know. I just I thought like
It's typical satire on fucking
So was
how
that
rich white,
A24?
yeah,
A24.
how rich white people
Yeah.
can control. It's like a satire on like fucking medical studies and shit like that.
It's
in
an
a
Eat the
sense.
Rich movie.
Yeah, it's like a satire on like medical studies and like, you know,
Yeah,
controlling it through money, and like it's kind of silly, but I didn't really like the construction of the movie. It takes for so long to get things started, really. I mean, besides killing the actual unicorn, but like it's so medical influence that it's like, I don't know, whatever, man. I was getting a little bit bored. I was getting a little bit bored with it, but like I kept thinking to myself, this movie reminds me of Orca, and I would rather watch Orca. It's like that type of revenge type film where obviously it's called Death of a Unicorn, so you know a unicorn does die, and then there's kind of like a revenge aspect to it and stuff like that. But if you've ever seen Orca, just watch Orca. It's way better. If you're familiar with this, with the narrative, it's like, you know, the mother loses the little orca, and then she goes off on a fucking rampage. So, I mean,
Did you guys all? Okay.
there was some cool parts in this movie. I'm not going to say it was like totally a shit fest or nothing. I'm not going to say, you know, don't go out and see it and stuff like that. But me personally, I was, by the end of the movie, I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, this thing is like A to B. It's so just, it didn't really offer anything, man. It didn't offer anything. I was just like, fuck. And
I
some
thought that dude from We're the Millers was fucking hilarious. I thought that kid was wicked funny.
yeah, I mean, I don't know, man.
I was laughing at a lot of that stuff. Like, I felt like Paul Rudd was like playing like Trey Parker in a movie. Like, just like
the son annoyed me, but it was also like a satire on that type of people.
right? I thought he was so funny. He played like such a snob fucking like rich kid asshole.
I just like how every scene he's always drinking, and when I started laughing when he started snorting the fucking the unicorn dust. I thought that was actually quite funny, but it, again, it's just, you know, the jokes are there. Like, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But I don't know, man. It was A to B. I just thought it was like very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. It's not a horrible
I didn't
movie.
expect anything. It actually exceeded my
I got
expectations.
sick of the CG dude on the unicorns. I really got sick and fucking tired of just seeing it, man. There was so much of it. I was just like, I'm so bored of
When
this.
I go to a movie theater and see a mainstream horror movie, I'm expecting a 5 out of 10. If you get a 5 out of 10, like, sure. I feel like I got my money's worth.
Yeah.
So anything.
Hold on, wait.
5 out of 10.
What did this loser just say? If you go
If
to
I'm
the
going to
movies
see
and
a
see a
mainstream
5
horror
out of
movie-
10, you got your money's worth?
For
I'm
a
pissed if I
mainstream-
see a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, this
That's
was
like
I actually gave this 5 out of 10.
I think that's most like theater horror movies are like
No,
average
you're
movies.
fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah,
Are you
this was a
serious?
huge miss from
you're
A24.
Like a 5
Like, I
out of
think-
10 to me, I would be like, dude, what? I don't even
Average
pay for the
movie.
ticket. I'd be mad that I wasted my time.
There were a couple. I'm at below a 5. I'm like multiple theater movies. Sure, already.
Yeah, but also now that I think about it, you're like way harsher on your ratings as well. For like, it's kind of rare I go see a 5 out of 10. Like, realistically, like most theatrical watches for me are like 6s.
That's
What did you rate this one,
Six.
Tyler? What'd you rate this
6.
one? See, I give it a 5. I give it a 5. Did you notice something at the end of the movie that was really odd? So when the cops show up,
Mhm.
it's clearly Canadian RCMP vehicles, right?
Yeah.
And I kept like, listening, like where it was shot and stuff. I'm like, man, it totally looks like BC, but I wasn't 100% sure. So after the movie, after I saw the RCMP vehicles and even said like BC and stuff like that, I was like, oh, so it's shot somewhere in BC. And then I look it up and it said it was shot in Hungary. But I'm like, why the fuck was it? Why was there RCMP vehicles in these scenes? It was so fucking Canadian. I was like, what the fuck? But I couldn't find any source saying it was actually shot in BC. But even though it completely looks like it, and the RCMP thing is like, well, that's not in Hungary. That's clearly Canadian. But yeah, I thought that was a little bit odd. I don't know, man. The movie overall, like, I didn't hate it. I just was so kind of bored with it, to be honest. Like honestly, I know we're not really supposed to like these characters, but these characters are so unlikable, dude.
I liked them all. I thought they were funny.
Dude, they suck so bad, man. Everyone's shitty. Except for
that's why I liked them. They're funny. They're like unapologetic shitheads. They're all assholes. I love it.
It's just the most typical
movie.
Upper fucking class rich people. Oh my god, it was driving me nuts, man. The only character I actually really liked was the housekeeper, or not the housekeeper, but the butler dude.
I like Jenna Ortega the least. I will say that.
I thought her performance was actually pretty not good.
I thought she was fine. I think one thing
I didn't think she was that good.
Well, the one thing she does pull off well is kind of like that like kind of college like Gen Z like huffing the vape pen the whole movie.
Yeah. Of course you got to throw that in there,
but yeah, I thought everybody else was better than her, and I thought they were all just like way funnier characters.
Paul Rudd's character really pissed me off though too, because he has this like weird arc where it's like he's very sympathetic with his daughter and stuff like that, but then he falls victim to the play of the dark side of the narrative. He's like, oh, I took the fucking the unicorn.
Well, I think part of the arc of him is like he's actually just like them. All he just wanted was money. He's kind of like using like his daughter as like a sob story.
Of course, but it comes off weird in the film throughout the whole thing. Like you want to be sympathetic with it because he just like lost his wife and stuff. So they throw that angle in there. But then like he actually is just like the shitheads that we're watching, right? He's kind of a piece of shit though too, and it's like it's annoying because you kind of want to root for him, but at the same time he's like a pice of shit, and it's like,
see, that's the thing too. It's like I'm not like I watch this, my brain is just off. I'm not rooting for anyone. I'm just like, I'll just like just taking out ways. I'm not really rooting for anyone. Like if the good guys if they randomly like killed the good guys at the end, I'd probably love that because I would think it would be funny.
I just wish that fucking the shit just ended, like just went a different route. Like it was so A to B, bro.
Yeah,
like it was literally the most predictable thing I've seen in so long.
Yeah, it was very predictable, and it's like it's very like a little ham-fisted in like its satire. But I don't know. I thought it was fine for what it was.
Yeah,
like I liked it way better than like The Woman in the Yard. Like I don't really get bored with movies very often, but that movie, yikes. It's basically a remake of an of like a early 2000s or early 2010s movie. And I don't even want to like say what that movie is because it's like such a ripoff that it will completely spoil the movie.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's the latest Blumhouse movie. It's very bad.
No,
I give it like a 3 out of 10. That was awful.
Yeah, I mean these two companies are very, very hit and miss right now.
Like, I might rather watch The Wolfman again than watch that movie. Than watch Wolfman. At least I wasn't bored watching The Wolfman.
Wow. So you had brought up, I think in one of our chats about how you rewatched The Monkey and you like went down on it big time. What's the story with that?
Yeah. So the thing is, I had more fun in the theater, like when I didn't really know what The Monkey was at all. Like I didn't know what I was gonna be going for, so a lot of like the dark comedy, like right off the rip, and like all like the violent jokes, like those like were like really funny for me the first time. They just weren't as funny the second time, and I think I just had like that the monkey. And I think I just have the theater experience where like people are like laughing, having fun. That it kind of elevates the movie for you. So when I was watching at home with I knew all the jokes already, and like my girlfriend definitely didn't have the same enthusiasm as the theater, and it like made the second half of the movie where like the writing gets kind of crappy. Way worse. So it was just like, this is a lot better.
Yeah, that theater. I could see that totally. Did you see The Woman in the Yard?
Mm-hmm. I thought it was awful. That's what I was talking about.
You know what is funny? I looked at that because that movie came out when I was a creature feature, and I think that the people we were with is like somebody said like, "Oh, good news, guys! The verdict on Woman in the Yard is it's actually good." And I was like, "Oh, really? That's surprising." Because knowing it's Blumhouse, but when they showed the trailer for it, I was like, honestly, that's like a pretty good setup to a movie. Like people look outside and there's just this woman in black sitting in their yard. That's fucking creepy. I could see it having potential, but then I was like, I bet that it's gonna be like not good though, because I just like Blumhouse doesn't know how to do fucking subtle, like creepy shit like that.
Yeah, it's the thing. It was like kind of your basic like my trauma movie, and it's like it's
One, what
kind of a
is it?
ripoff. Like, oh my god, my trauma.
Oh, my trauma.
Yeah, yeah. It was one of those movies, and like I was saying earlier that it's like a complete ripoff of a movie from like 10 years ago, a very popular movie. And I don't even like want to say the name of that movie for people that haven't seen it
Yeah.
because it will just like literally ruin the movie because it's done so much worse than like the other movie. It's just like the same movie transported into a different setting. And the biggest problem with this movie though is they like have a scene like 15 minutes in where like the mom goes and talks to the woman outside for the first time, and like they spell out the entire movie. But then they play it out like it's supposed to be like this like kind of like like this like mysterious film, but like they literally just like explain the movie to you 15 minutes in if like you've ever seen like one of these movies before. And it's just waiting for the ending. Exactly what you think happens.
Did you guys see that apparently the Black Phone 2 is taking on like a Freddy Krueger type narrative?
No, I didn't see that actually.
Oh, interesting.
That kind of makes sense though. If it like I was thinking, oh, maybe it'll be a prequel, but if it's going to be an actual sequel, kind of
Yeah.
makes. I'm actually. It seems like over the years, people have been really scared to go into like a supernatural killer territory these days.
Mm.
So I'm actually kind of open to this. I think it could.
I would rather
interesting.
them do that than like try to like somehow shoehorn in like the same type of character again.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I can see this working though.
because it's like it's not
Plus,
like this
the
movie
first
wasn't already.
movie-
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. You kind
It
of
was already
forget about that
supernatural.
aspect of it,
Right.
right? Like you just think of like the fact that this guy's abducting kids and it's like kind of a serious thing. But yeah, there was actually like some supernatural elements in the first one to begin with. So
yeah.
it
and I
almost
really like
is
that
sort of
aspect
more
about it, too,
natural
honestly.
progression.
It's like the best work I think this guy's done is it's Sinister anyway, and that obviously leans supernatural.
Well, there was breaking news today.
What's that?
Happy Death Day 3 is finally moving forward.
Sick.
That is not breaking news because
Sick,
those movies
dog.
fucking are assholes.
You know what was
Stinky,
breaking
stinky
news
fucking
today,
assholes.
though?
That bad.
What was breaking news today though?
What's that?
Was,
Oh,
Alex Ovechkin. breaking the
Ovi
all-time
breaking the
goals
fucking
record.
man. He is on a motherfucking heater, man. It's crazy. At least it was a nice goal.
It was a rocket.
It was a fucking nice goal. Actually, so I was on Bloody Disgusting today, and I thought it was really interesting. They had an article. It was said it titled 6 upcoming Stephen King adaptations arriving in 2025. I'm like, 6? Like, I'm like, holy.
Is that really? No, it can't.
Well, that's including the monkey. So,
Okay.
so apparently there's one called The
Yeah.
Life of Chuck, which was, I think it was a short, and if it bleeds,
Yes, I've read that one.
yeah, I don't think it's a horror film, but anyways, it's an adaptation.
The Life of Chuck is. Let me refresh my memory.
It says it's a genre bending story that explores the life of Charles Krantz in 3 chapters, serving as a celebration of existence and morality. So I don't know what that means, but
No, I think that one it had some darkness to it. I can't. I have to read the synopsis of it to refresh my memory.
but then they got The Long Walk, which is going to be theatrical September 12th, which is fucking
That's a
amazing.
Bachman.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
part of the
Bachman.
Bachman books, man. One of my favorite stories. I read this thing a couple times. Dude, it's just so brutal. I can't wait to see what they do with the adaptation. I hope they don't cop out with it because it's actually pretty nasty. So I guess we'll see on that one. So it's September 12th. And then we got The Running Man.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so just to go back to Life of Chuck really quick, there is some like supernatural, like haunted housey shit in there.
Mm.
It's basically about a guy who gets a brain tumor at 39, and it like tells the story backwards of his life. It was honestly not my favorite story. Kind of surprised they're doing that one,
Yeah,
but who knows?
interesting.
But The Long Walk, I'm really interested in that one. I've
Yeah,
been
me
wanting
too.
that one to come out forever.
I think I might actually even reread the short story before it comes out just to kind of refresh. But I remember it though. I read it a couple times. Then we got The Running Man, which is being directed by Edgar Wright. Like, so bizarre. Like, The Running Man is my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. So this is going to be weird.
I don't know if I've ever seen
Have you read
No,
The
I've
Running
never-
Man
I've
Moodz?
never even
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
it.
I've read the short story. The movie's
Yeah, 'cause,
nothing like the short story.
The movie is like actually nothing like it.
No, it's like completely different. But I mean the original movie is like, oh man, I love that movie so much. But I just feel like it's going to be a totally different approach by Edgar Wright. Who knows?
I don't know. So many
Well,
great
would it be
one-liners
better
in
if
that movie.
would it be better if they actually tried to make it like the novel?
I
Would that be a
mean,
better
it'd be more of a
choice?
horror movie.
Yeah, it would probably be more of a horror film. I mean, I guess we'll wait to see what kind of
I
approach
do
it
love
actually
The
takes.
Running Man,
But
though. There's so many golden one-liners in that movie.
just knowing that it's Edgar Wright, like you already kind of know it might be a little bit more comedic. I don't know.
He just he's a little,
Michael
he's a little
Cera's
too
in it.
poppy for me. Oh God.
Oh, dude, I didn't even see the cast, but you're right. It's got Josh Brolin, Michael. So this movie is probably going to be
Josh
a little
Brolin would be a good lead if that's what it is. That'd be like a perfect lead.
Yeah, that cast is bizarre. You got William H. Macy in it also. I'd like to see what character, what roles. I mean, if it's kind of like
I don't remember enough of the novel.
Yeah, me either. Actually, well, the novel it's honestly a short story. It's pretty short. I mean, it's in the Bachman books
own
also.
Book, though, right? Oh, I thought it was its own book too.
No,
I think I had one of the later.
Isn't it just
printings of it.
super interesting that every year there's always something Stephen King coming out?
Oh yeah, I'm actually pretty interested in this though.
This is my
Yeah.
honestly, we didn't do this last year. I don't think we did. Did we do a top 5 most looking forward to thing for 2020?
I can't remember if we did one or not,
But if we did, I wouldn't think we would include TV stuff anyway.
Mhm.
But this is probably the most hyped thing I am hyped for, period.
So it's Welcome to Derry. It's a prequel, a 9-episode prequel series. And Bill Skarsgård is returning as Pennywise. So that's kind of cool. That's
I'm really huge. That's huge
really,
because everybody was wondering what they were going to do with that aspect.
I just love the fact that it's a prequel. So it's kids and man, dude, that's so cool, man. I think that's cool.
So this the It chapter 1 and 2. I think that the first one made my top 10. I don't think the second one did. But in hindsight, as the years have went on since those have come out, they're two of my favorite things that have come out in the last decade. I've revisited them a couple times, and I love those things.
Have you ever watched them back to back?
Yes.
Yeah.
The last time I watched them right back to back. It was
me
6
too.
hours or something.
Yeah, it's actually quite entertaining.
It's actually funny. The day before I did the old miniseries, and then the day after I did those two. It was last summer or the summer before when we were off. But
nice.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this. For one, there's actually a lot of lore in the Stephen King novel that they never touch on in the movies, or they just briefly mention it. There's an entire history of they mention it in the movies, where every 30 or whatever years, some bad shit starts happening, and they talk about the Easter egg hunt and some other the 16 whatever, the when they first settled or whatever. So there is even in the West, the old West type thing, story that's in there, but there's a lot of lore that you can touch on.
Yeah, build on. Yeah,
I'm really excited for this. I think it takes place in 62.
Yeah, it does.
And yeah, I'm really excited for this. This sounds awesome, and it's the first of 3 planned seasons. So yeah, that's HBO Max, I believe. I hope it comes out this year. I think it says 2025, but I feel like it's been announced for 5 years.
Yeah, and then the next one is The Institute. So that was a book that came out just last few years, I guess.
6 years ago.
Yeah, something like that. Which I have actually not read that one. The wife has read it, but
yeah, I've actually not read that one either.
I think she said she liked it. She thought it was pretty cool. So I don't know, but that's a lot. That's a lot of adaptations, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's coming to MGM Plus.
Right. And then of course
it's another TV series.
Yeah, another TV series. And then of course Flanagan is working on adaptations of The Dark Tower and Carrie. A24 is developing Stephen King's Fairy Tale, which just came out. It's one of the newest books. I guess it's like a 10 episode series. Like there's just so much Stephen King. It's fucking wild. Just wild.
Yeah, Fairy Tale is so different from a lot of the stuff he's written.
Yeah.
Because it is like essentially a fairy tale. Like it's about this kid who like finds like basically like a portal.
Inevitably, we're gonna get
world.
like posthumous like Stephen King work at some point, and then that work will get adapted into movies.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And
I think they're redoing Cujo too, right? It says,
that just got announced. Who was doing that?
Darren Aronofsky.
Yeah, that's a weird guy to redo. Cujo.
Yeah, I know. I thought that was kind of a weird project for Aronofsky to tackle because Cujo's narrative is very simple. It's a very simple narrative. I hope he does something completely different with it because I don't want an adaptation of just what we got in the first movie. You know what I mean? I don't want to see that. I want to see something different.
Cujo is one of those movies that, to go back to like what we were talking about like rewatching stuff, like Cujo, the very first time you see it, it hits pretty hard. And then every other time I've ever watched it, it just hadn't really done much for me.
No, it doesn't, because it's like it's like almost a definition of a film that you just only need to see once, I guess. It's just there's nothing else to it. Like what else do you grab from it, kind of thing. So
yeah, he has this crime thriller that's supposed to come out this year in August, starring Zoe Kravitz.
Austin Butler, my man.
A former baseball player finds himself immersed in criminality in New York in the 1990s.
Sweet.
I'm sure it'll be decent. He's a pretty good director. I don't think I've seen anything from him that I didn't like. I guess Below, maybe. Oh no, he just wrote that.
I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen all his movies, but I haven't seen anything I don't like from him.
Did you ever watch his Noah's Ark movie?
No, I haven't seen that one, and I haven't seen Fountain of Youth or something.
The Fountain.
Yeah, The Fountain, whatever it's called. I've seen all his other movies, I think, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a lot of Stephen King, man. It's
today too. Ari Aster's new movie is going to play at Cannes, or as I like to call it, Canes.
It's actually Cons.
Raising Cons. Raising
I like
Canes?
calling it Canes. It's just fun. But anyways, yeah, his movie is going to be playing there, so hopefully that means we'll get it later on this year.
What is it? Does anyone know?
It's like it's an Ari Aster movie. It's gonna be like 8.
No shit.
Is it gonna be a damn horror movie?
Well, right now it has a horror tag, but it has like 4 tags.
Western black comedy.
Yeah, I saw that too. Western black comedy. I'm like, okay, well, I'd be down with that, man.
Yeah, Western black comedy horror something else is what it has on Letterboxd.
Really? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Weird.
It's at A24.
But if it's Western and horror, sign me up.
Yeah, comedy, horror, mystery, Western.
Mystery.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal, Joaquin Phoenix, Emma Stone, Austin Butler, Luke Grimes. Isn't that the dude from fucking 50 Shades of Grey?
Dude, what is with all the fucking Popeye horror films coming out? Dude, it's ridiculous. I just watched Popeye the Slayer, man. Now there's another movie called Shiver Me Timbers.
I think Carly got cast as Olive Oil in one.
Really?
Oh my god,
dude! They're just making Popeye like this. Always happens every year where like something is a little bit popular and they just fucking roll with it. Crazy.
There's so many of them. People are just gonna stop watching them.
Yeah, it obviously went like public domain, right? You can use the character
people
now.
Watch like the one like Winnie the Pooh movie, but people aren't gonna watch fucking 8 of them.
I mean, I like the first the 2 Winnie the Pooh movies.
Yeah, it's the same like franchise. Like people will watch that one, but they're not gonna like watch like fucking 8 of them. You know what I mean?
I'm looking forward to this whole like Poohniverse. Is this part of the Poohniverse? Is Popeye part of it? I don't know.
One of them is, I think. Yeah,
Popeye the Slayer Man,
isn't it?
Gosh.
So is Popeye the Slayer Man part of it?
I think Tony saw that one in the theater.
I watched it like last week too. I thought it was fun.
Let's see.
I liked it. It's not great, but it was fun.
No, it is not part of the Poohniverse.
Okay. I just don't even really understand what the whole Poohniverse is. Because I mean, with it, like the Winnie the Pooh characters, I understand, like, you know, you can break up with all those characters and stuff, but like the whole.
It's called the Twisted Childhood Universe.
Mm.
I think it's just fun to say.
Poohniverse is a good word, man. It's great.
Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare is the next film, I believe.
Oh my god!
That's why I was questioning it, because.
And then you have Bambi: The Reckoning.
Dude, that's fucking awesome.
And Pinocchio Unstrung.
Pinocchio Unstrung.
This is going to get out of control.
This is going to get. It's already out of control.
Well, so far, man, I'm liking everything I've been seeing, man. Like, I mean, if the Popeye movies are part of it, man, but like the Popeye the Slayer, man, I thought it was okay. I mean, there's like a reveal in the film. I was like, okay, whatever. But like,
how many years till it goes public domain?
How many years?
Yeah, isn't it like 40? No, it's got even more than that. Because
I think it's different for different things.
It is different for different things.
Yeah,
100. I think 100 years for certain things.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. Because man, some of these are.
But it is funny how like all these characters are all public domain, like pretty much at the same time. We're just gonna get fucking flooded with all these character films, man. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. I mean, I'm not opposed to it because I think they're fun. If you take your shit too serious, you're not gonna like this. So. But I can watch it
before January 1st, 1930.
95 years.
So it's like, it's not even 100 years.
United States Copyright Office tasked with maintaining copyright records. All works first published or released in the United States before January 1st, 1930 have lost their copyright protection 95 years later, effective January 1st, 2025. It's kind of weird how like that works. Like who says, bro? The Federal Copyright Agency, they say.
I never looked into the whole copyright thing, like actually how it works, but
works enter the public domain either 70 years after the author's death or 95 years after publication for works of corporate authorship. But there's other different things as well. Like I know certain writers in Hollywood like can get their work, like the Craven estate got shoot back. So that was what, 84, 94, 2004, 2000.
That's all. It's probably all based in contracts, right?
Yeah. I think there's different thing. I don't know. It's weird shit. So, yeah.
But yeah. Well, y'all's got anything else or?
I feel like so.
I feel like that intro was really long.
Yeah. Well, we took last week off, right? So
I know it felt like forever since after that marathon. It felt like forever since we last recorded.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that said, man, let's conclude the intro and we'll get into these these 2/3 of Cat 3 films.
Yo, who this?
Yo, Moodz, it's your boy, the ill-mannered funky child, calling you to remind you that the featured reviews on this episode contain spoilers.
Aw, yeah, man, that's right, brother. Thanks for the heads up, playa. Now go back to being an unproductive asshole.
Fuck you. Now tell your listeners to stop being so dumb, silly, sensitive.
Yeah.
And now, our feature presentation.
All right, so getting into the featured reviews here on episode 290, Cat 3 Volume 2. Is that what we're calling it? Did we actually?
Yeah, I'm just not going to put the poster of the cat on there.
All right. All right, so coming from the year of 1991, 92.
I was like, this one asked me first now.
I don't know, you guys be the judge. What is it, 91 or 92? It was fucking 92 the entire time we've been prepping until 4 days ago, motherfucker. Anyways, is a film called The Cat, which turns out is actually not even a Cat 3 film. Tyler's an idiot. So, but then again, I mean, we're kind of to blame though too, right?
Yeah, we know that he's an idiot, and we didn't fact check him anyway. So.
Yeah, we didn't fact check him. So, all right.
To be fair, I do know that he did say that it wasn't a Cat 3, and then he's like, "Wait, actually, this list says that it's a Cat 3." and we didn't really
Yeah,
think
that's
deeper than that.
literally what happens.
I'm not joking. I mean, I saw it on multiple lists too, so I get the discretion. I understand it. Mistakes are made. It is what it is.
I think it's one of those things where anybody who reviews like any like, you know, horror film from Hong Kong thinks that it's automatically a Cat 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's true.
I can see that.
It's true. Okay, so
There's even a video on YouTube where the person uses the Cat 3 logo in the thumbnail.
right. Yeah, this one's directed by Ning Cho Lam. I'm probably not saying that right at all. Just can't say those names that great.
Lam Noi Choi.
Lam Nong Choi. I don't
I'm
know.
not trying that. I'm not trying that.
We recently reviewed one of his movies, The Seventh Curse.
Oh yeah.
And
So-
we farther back reviewed another one of his movies called Ricky O, The Story of Ricky, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah, we did that. And actually, coming up, we will be reviewing Her Vengeance on Sinbin.
And
I
we also
actually,
did Erotic Ghost Story.
Erotic Ghost Story, I actually watched this week for the first time. Wow. I was a little bit shocked that there was like open vagina in that movie. It was kind of crazy. I was like, holy shit. So I was just kind of shocked by it. A lot of titties. It's very sleazy, but it's still horror. It's got its elements.
He also made a movie called Three Stooges Go Undercover.
in random. So fucking random. All right. So synopsis. An adaptation of the novel Old Cat by Ni Kwang. A cat from outer space teams up with a young alien girl and her knight. Did someone really write her knight? Along with an adventure novelist named Wisely to fight a murderous alien that possesses people. Right. So
this is a Wisely story that we learned that Seven Curse was
Seven Curse, based on
a part of.
So kind of connected. I don't know what the other films are. Do you guys actually know what the other? Because there's what?
No, I think they're just
six?
like random stories with this Wisely character in it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Have they been adapted? Because I don't even like. I was trying to. I
think it's just like a novel series, and they're just adapting like random ones, like the Hardy Boys or something.
Okay, so that makes sense because I was like, shit, dude, this is like the same character from the Seventh Curse, and I'm like, okay,
yeah, it's like they're not. I think that's what they are. They're just stories like that, and
right.
It's just like a bunch of novels based around this Wisely character, and he probably gets into these weird sci-fi like ghostly adventures.
Right.
I like this guy's review. No one asked for a Blob Homeward Bound crossover, but the best things in life just happen sometimes.
The Blob Homeward Bound. That's fucking great, man. Why the Blob?
The thing's kind of like a blob.
I mean,
there is that huge ass blob segment in the movie.
I mean, I guess there is a little bit of a blob.
I was watching,
I don't even know what to call this alien, to be honest.
It's kind of like The Thing.
It is kind of. It's like. See, I would describe this movie as being like an Asian version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
See, it kind of reminds me. You know what this movie reminds me of is like those kind of like space chase thrillers, like I Come in Peace and a Black Moon Rising, where like someone's chasing someone from another planet to Earth.
I mean, that's essentially what it is. It really is.
Yeah.
But I mean, like on the surface, it's like. It really is kind of like Invasion of Body Snatchers because this alien comes from this other planet, obviously, but it invades bodies. It literally takes over the human form, right? But it has this kind of blob aspect to it, too. It's kind of weird. It's fucking strange. But it's so Asian. Man, this movie's so Hong Kong, man. It's like...
See, it's like everything I want in a Hong Kong movie.
It's so fucking fun.
This was actually like on like my short list of movies I was considering for... like Hidden Gem show when we started, like when we were into Volume 2 last year, and like I'm glad it's going for 92, so we just got to talk about it anyway.
But is it 92? That's the fucking question.
Well, I watched it for 92, whether it is or not.
I know, I did too. It's on my 92 list, man. So if y'all want to check that out, it's listed in my 92. All right, so JP, what are your thoughts on the cat?
Fucking bizarre, dude. Like it's just so out there, but in the good, it's just like you don't know what's gonna happen, and once you start seeing like all these like cool practical effects, and then there's even some like really dope stop motion effects in there. It really is like an effects showcase in this movie, and some of it looks cheesy, maybe intentionally, but it really just is nonstop like insanity. It reminded me of a lot of like the feeling you get when you watch like the Japanese house movie, where it's just like you feel like anything could happen at any time because it's just they're just constantly throwing like curveballs at you, where it's like, dude, what the fuck? Like the scene with the dog and the cat. Like I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then
good.
like right at the beginning too, with like the homeless dude and like the diary looking shit, and it just got like wild.
Dude, that the cat and dog fight scene is literally, it's batshit insane. Like how, like, I mean, we kind of revealed in the intro, it took like what 6 months to film that shit.
Yeah.
But man, it is so fucking wild. Like it's really entertaining, and it's like unbelievable. Like how, like, even come up with the concept of this small ass cat fighting this big ass dog and shit. I love the owner of the dog, man. When the dog gets all fucked up and he's at the hospital, he's literally like crying. He's like, "Oh my god, my dog!" Shit fucking made me howl, dude. His dog got all fucked up. He's like, "He's gonna live. He's gonna live." It's fucking good shit, man. But yeah, like when we first get introduced to the alien and it busts through that window and takes out that dude, I'm just like, oh my god, I love this movie, because it like instantly caught my attention to the point I was like, dude, this is so fucking bizarre. It's your very typical kind of like intergalactic fucking kind of storyline, really. Somebody evaded their home planet and stuff like that, and someone's chasing them down and basically, trying to get them and stuff like that. But in this term, it's like a cat. So fucking weird, dude. The end of the movie here had me in stitches, man. Like with the dust and shit.
There's just so much weird. Like
it is like the way it ends and the way the dust. And like I was like, oh my god, dude. But yeah, like I kind of agree with what JP said about being an effects film. Like this one right here, it's very standardized storytelling. There's really nothing.
I really didn't even really know what was going on that much, honestly, dude.
I mean, it's basically just about this alien that comes to Earth, and this cat is following it's on its tail and is trying to kill him. Basically,
like what was like the alien thing in like the glass?
In the glass? What do you mean in the glass?
Like there's like that glass, like I don't know, it looks like an egg or something in like I don't know if it's a museum or something. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't even remember.
I don't know if it's like, I think they showed it a couple times actually. Yeah, it almost reminded me of like an alien pod, from like the movie Aliens, like in a glass container. Like Cat's hand comes up and touches it or something. I'll send you guys a picture of what I'm talking about. Maybe to refresh your memory.
Are you talking about the octagon thing? Oh no, that's not in the. Because the whole narrative with the octagon thing is so bizarre. How it like transmits decomposed bodies back up to like the fucking alien planet and shit like that. I was like, what the fuck? It's so weird.
Yeah, I think that's what he was talking about with the octagon thing.
Is he talking about the octagon thing?
What?
Yeah,
it's called an octagon.
They have to find the second one so they can kill the Star Killer guy.
Yeah. Because you need both of them apparently to work or whatever the fuck it was. But it's like really strange because the story with the octagon thing is like it like transfers decomposed bodies up to the planet and stuff like that through this like weird kind of like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's really fucking weird.
Dude, when they go into the sewer with the like effects, it looks like it's like a reversed effect where it looks like I don't even know what that is. It's just like mushy diarrhea looking beans or something that's going back into like that homeless dude's mouth. That shit is so nasty.
Yeah, man.
I'm like, where is this guy? And then there's like this mushroom looking things and shit.
Yeah, man. Like, there's definitely a lot of weird shit that's going on in the film.
Like, there's like these weird electric effects around all kind of shit.
One of my favorite scenes in the film is actually when that the one dude gets taken over by the aliens and he goes to buy all the guns. The alien goes to the gun dealer to buy fucking guns and shit. And he says to him, he's like, I'm going to take out you and your mom. And I fucking seriously like just erupted in laughter. I was like, oh my God, that's so funny. So then the guys behind him like shoot the shit out of him. And he's just like, oh, okay, he's a fucking alien. He's not going to die. And just like rip roars on him. It was an awesome scene, man. It's a great scene.
The junkyard scene with the cat and the dog, it like sometimes like when it would do the stop motion, the dog looked completely fucking different, like a different breed of dog.
Yeah.
And it like bites the cat and like flings its head and the cat goes flying. It's just like, dude, what are we doing? This is so wild.
It's so Asian, man. It's like so out there, man. I thought
I love it. Even in that scene, the cat like jumps out the window and you see like that, like clearly like a cat outline in the glass.
Right.
This movie just knows exactly like when to be funny.
Yeah, that's one thing with like Hong Kong films, man. It's like, even Cat 3 films, man. Like they there's always at least one part in every film, even if it's trying to be serious. There's comedic.
That's just part of it, and like some of them are better at comedic timing, and others. And the comedic timing in this movie is just like so spot on.
Yeah, it's actually quite good. Dude, the one part that made me laugh so hard in this film, man, was the scene where I think the cat turns on the windshield wipers and it fucking hits the dog. Yeah. Dude, that scene, I was fucking laughing, dude. I was like, that's so stupid.
This was the part where I was like, oh, maybe this is a Cat 3 movie. I forgot how violent this movie was. When like he kills like when the blob like kills like the 4 cops and like freezes the guy and then like rips his arms off.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was dying. I was like, oh, okay, maybe this is like just a Cat 3 movie, and the bar for Cat 3 movies is just lower than I thought.
There's some good stunts though, man. Like when the dude fucking flies off,
stunts are really good.
Like when he flies off, I think the house or the patio or whatever, and like they don't film him not hitting the ground. They actually show him hitting the ground. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, that's crazy. So yeah, pretty wild stuff, man. But like my favorite that good. I'm just gonna say my favorite thing about this film, man, is definitely the effects, man. Like I loved how they used the stop motion, the big practical effects, obviously, but there's like a little bit of green screen in there and stuff like that. Like it comes across as being pretty cheesy, but it also makes sense for what they're doing.
Like the one person like covered in like the alien with like just their mouth showing, that's like all giant, like that green screen look.
Yeah.
This is like a perfect movie to like not really know what it is and then to like watch with a group of people.
I watched this last year for the first time on a plane on my iPad. It was like streaming on the Criterion channel for some reason, and it was like leaving this month. I was like, oh, I'll watch this kitty cat movie. And I had so much fun watching this shit on a plane. Yeah,
it was streaming on the Criterion channel. That's interesting.
Yeah, this and Riccio were both streaming at the time.
Is somebody going to release this damn thing?
So they must.
We hope,
but they never released Riccio though.
Syndrome.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah, I really hope this movie gets released. I like this movie quite a bit.
Yeah, it's fucking fun as hell, man. Even though, I mean, things are not always adding up and making sense and stuff like that. Like even the whole connection with like the cat and, you know, the people that it fucking sides with and stuff, like it doesn't really make a lot of sense as to what's happening there.
Well,
it's happening.
They're all aliens, like chasing the Star Destroyer, and like Wisely's like the chosen one.
Right, of course, yeah. But I kind of like the setup though, like where he's, you know, the beginning of the film where he's like writing the story, and then
it's like the whole movie's like his memoirs.
But it's like it's almost like he's writing the story, and then it just kind of cuts into like it starts happening kind of thing, right? But yeah, he's telling that story.
Eat some crabs, and he doesn't know how to eat crabs.
He sucks at eating crabs. He needs help. Yeah,
the worst. I love how they just put a big ass bowl of crabs like on the table. And this guy got this like ancient fucking vodka or whatever in this like fucking pottery.
Fuck, man. Like honestly, I don't even know what to say about this movie. It was just so much goddamn fun. Like there's not really a lot of story. It's just intergalactic fucking, chasing
Yeah,
and shit
I don't
like
think
that.
the story really fucking even matters. It's just it's an effects
Yeah,
movie. It's
it's
just
an
a
effects movie,
crazy,
and
crazy shit movie where
and
you're
I-
just like, what the fuck?
And I feel like the effects work so well here. Like, honestly, that first kill scene where the fucking alien like takes out that person, like rips them apart and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is awesome, man. I'm like, this is amazing. Because I was thinking like body snatcher type shit, which essentially is kind of what it does, but like it demolishes people, like rips them apart. It's like, what the fuck? This is awesome. But like, how do you make sense of what the alien is? What the hell is that thing? It's like this oversized, huge, it's almost like a tree blob. Like, what the fuck is it?
Yeah, it like reminded me of like mushrooms a little bit.
Yeah, it's weird. It's hard to explain exactly what you're seeing on screen because to what it becomes, because it invades the one dude's body who goes and buys the guns and he's like a human. So weird. Hard to explain. So weird.
I was sitting there on Friday night. I had was under the influence a little bit and I popped it on and I'm watching it and I was just like, dude, I like can't handle this right now. I was like, I don't know what's going on. And it's like, it's too weird. Like I kept like overthinking things and getting all like out of it. So I was like, I'm gonna wait a little bit to watch this.
I just love the fact in the narrative is like they think the cat is like the bad person. So the inspector goes and gets that dog to like go fight the cat. And then we get this most epic fucking scene ever. And it's not even
like,
about battling the cat. The cat is actually the good person.
The first time I saw that, like, I could not believe what I was seeing.
Dude, that scene, I was in stitches, man. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching?
It's incredible. It's so long too. It just.
I know,
just
and
looks so
that's
good.
what
I just love that he
actually
realizes
what's
that the
great
cat is
about it,
actually
too.
like when the cat loses the tail and shit. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? We got to transpose this thing back onto the cat.
The thing that's so impressive about that scene is what Tyler said, that it goes on so long, because it reminded me, it's like the They Live scene with Roddy Piper and Keith David fighting, where it just keeps going.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, this would have been like cool to just have like this one scene, but the fact that they just keep going with it makes it even more impressive.
And it's like a chase scene before it too. It's not like this random fight.
It actually
scene,
plays out like a WWE scene with this cat and this dog. Like the way they're getting tossed around and the cat's like fucking them up in the back and shit. And like the windshield wipe, like it's crazy how much shit they put into this, man. Pretty wild.
There's just like so many different effects going on there too, that no wonder that shit took 6 months to do. Dude.
Yeah. When I read that, I read it wrong. I thought it said 6 weeks, but yeah, it's crazy. Absolutely bad shit.
6 months? Like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Most movies don't even take 6 months to film in full.
Most movies are like 6 weeks in full.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like,
exactly.
Time is money, boy. 6 months to shoot a cat. Come on,
dude. Yeah. What else? I don't know.
movie just fucking rules.
It's just so. I would love to watch this movie with a dub though, because this is the type of movie with a dub would be so much more fun.
Did you guys watch any of these with the dub?
No.
I watched Naked Killer because I realized the shit that Parker sent me, I just put it into VCI or whatever, played it, and I was about halfway through the film, VLC, and I wonder if it actually has another language on this. Like, clicked on it. I'm like, oh shit, it does. So I put on the fucking, the natural Cantonese language or whatever. And I was like, it's not as fun.
You know what, bro? I didn't even bother with it. And I just watched it in the dub. I think that movie might fucking play well with a dub.
What,
I didn't even check. I watched the
Naked Killer? Oh yeah. Honestly, dude, I was having so much fun with the dub.
The funniest thing about the dub is there's one character in there. Tyler might know this. Do you know that the voice of Mandark from Dexter's Laboratory?
Yeah.
You know that guy's voice.
Is it the cop? Yeah. Is it the cop? Or that one like goofy cop character with the weird ass fucking, that's one of the weirdest dubs in the film, man.
Yeah, it reminded me of like Mandark the whole time. It was really funny. It's like that nasally, like that.
Yeah, it had me. I was cracking up every time he talked, man. Well, he was the guy that ate the peanuts, right? Was it him?
I can't remember.
Yeah, it was. It was totally him. The guy with the fucking funny ass voice. He ate the peanuts. But we'll get to that.
The cat.
I don't even know what to say about the. I mean, the cat is so much. I mean, the end of the movie is so damn bizarre. Like I said, like
I like the cat just like in the stars.
When they like blow up the
I
fucking
love it.
the
It's
alien
so
and shit,
good.
and like this all like, how are we gonna get back? Oh, it's the glitter. I'm like, what the fuck? This the glitter? Oh man, dude, shit is so much fun. It really is so much fun. They actually legitimately said glitter substance. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? Oh man, this is like one of the funnest watches I've had in a long time. I was dying watching this shit, man.
A blast.
I was dying, and I can't believe this bootleg that I have, the DVD. Like, I was expecting a full screen VHS rip, just cheap for $5, kind of thing, whatever. No,
there must be a half decent transfer out there because
Yeah.
I watched it on Parker's Plex and it was a pretty good transfer.
Yeah, this is full widescreen. It's not VHS, and it's definitely taken like it was remastered. Like, there's some shit going on with this.
Yeah,
so.
I have a bootleg blue I watched, and it was very good.
Yeah, so I mean, it probably looked even better. I mean, this is DVD quality, but like, it looked really good.
I remember
totally shocked.
when I streamed it too. I don't remember having any complaints about what it looks like. So there's definitely got to be a solid print out there.
Yeah, this is definitely making its way to legit copies soon for sure. Hopefully.
Yeah, I would not be shocked if it comes out from Vinegar Syndrome, since they've been dabbling in a lot of Cat 3 / Hong Kong stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah, if we don't get it this year, man, I'm gonna lose hope. But it's got to be coming. It's got to be coming.
Well, most likely we put the show out and it'll get announced.
Yeah, or the director will die. One of the two.
Oh no.
That is true.
Like, we kill everybody.
Do you want to rate this one?
Yeah, we kill. I mentioned on the last Sinbin on my movie, I mentioned a Japanese director, and then he died like a week later.
Oh,
Yeah.
God damn it.
I mean, we killed him and Wingshauser in the same week.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking wild, man.
Well, Lam Noi Choi Nai Choi is 72.
So you're saying there's a chance?
I'm saying there's a chance.
The
This
Japanese
was actually
director we
his
killed was
last-
94.
This was actually his last directing job, I think.
Wow, really? Damn, he was.
But this is like 35 years ago, practically. That's crazy. He was pretty young when he stopped directing. Interesting. Dude, I love that gun scene, man. It's like my favorite scene in the film. Fuck, kills me. Besides,
Yeah, this or Ricky O is considered his last film.
Wow.
I'll be damned.
Interesting. Interesting.
He worked as a supervisor on The Last Supper from 2005.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah. Anyways, Tyler, what do you rate this one?
I like this movie a lot. I had a lot of fun rewatching it. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
JP, what do you give this one?
I enjoyed this movie quite a bit as well. Left a little bit to be desired with like the plot aspect of it. It gets very goofy at times, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but usually not up my alley per se. But I still give it a 7.5 out of 10.
I am also at an 8 out of 10 on this one. I mean, the narrative didn't really, but I mean, it's literally like an intergalactic fucking, chase down.
Yeah,
it is what it is. There's so many weird little goofy things that are happening, but like, this is not one of those A to B shit. You just, like you said before, you don't know what the fuck's going to happen. It's ridiculous. It's so much fun. It's an effects movie that really does work and it holds up. So pretty fun. I'd love to see an actual crisp HD transfer of this with a dub. It'd be so much fun. Definitely a movie that needs a pretty funny dub. So, all right. So that is The Cat from 1991, 92.
22 shots.
All right. So getting into the second feature here tonight, we're going to go with a film called Dr. Lamb. Also from the year 1992. Starring Danny Lee, of course, and of course Simon Yam, who actually is in Naked Killer also.
And
Salmon Yam
directed by Danny Lee Sa Yin and Billy Tang. Both of the fucking Danny Lee directed The Untold Story. That's how I know him from.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Billy Tang did the wonderful Dal D for Demons.
Oh, Jesus.
Did he really?
Yeah, but he also did Red to Kill.
Yeah, he did Red to Kill, right? Oh, he did do Dial D for Demons. Fuck it.
Run and Kill, which I haven't seen, but I think I heard that one was decent.
I actually own that. I need to watch it still, but yeah, Red to Kill is fucking awesome.
And he did Raped by an Angel 5 franchise show.
Yeah, so Dr. Lamb synopsis. An abnormal taxi driver lusts for blood every rainy night, and several young women are killed as a result. Okay. So Dr. Lamb is actually based on a real serial killer, actually.
So it seems like, based on my research, which is very little, it seems like there were a lot of like serial killers in Hong Kong throughout history, like similar to like that of the US, where we have like a lot of serial killers. I mean, there's serial killers everywhere, but it seems like there's like some notorious stories from like Hong Kong as well.
Yeah, Lam Kor Wong was the real life serial killer's name,
and also Lamb is I believe a mistranslation for the English, because it's just supposed to be LAM.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I was watching this.
The B is a United States thing.
Oh, okay. So
or at least, you know, I don't know specifically United States, but English translation.
So it's still pronounced lamb. It's still pronounced lamb, but the B is just added on there.
Yeah, because we spell lamb in the United States, you know, like a baby lamb.
Yeah, and in Asian translation, it's always there's no B, right? Because it would be LAM.
Well, it's a name. That's a person's name. LAM.
Yeah,
but
I was wondering if that too.
Localization.
I thought they were like, I was thinking, are they trying to make some type of like commentary or like contrast by spelling the name like that, like about the character?
No, I think it was just like they heard lamb and thought that they were like, that's how we spell lamb for the most part. So it's just like a localization.
Yeah, because I always wondered that actually, because Simon Yam, who plays, you know, Dr. Lamb in the film, it's even spelt out LAM for you. So it's Doctor. Yeah.
So in the other countries that this came out where it was non-English speaking languages, the film is called Dr. Lamb, LAM.
Right. Blame America.
It is our fault.
Fuck.
It's always our fault.
First of all, Dr. Lamb, this is a movie that I'd never seen, but I remember when it got announced, this is such a fascinating, like, cool era we live in, because if you just go back like a couple years on the podcast, we were like when we did that first Cat 3 show, like that had been when Untold Story like first got released and stuff, and we were talking about how like there's like such a big like untapped releases of Hong Kong films, specifically Cat 3, but just in general, that just don't have like good releases in this location. And
Region 1,
if you just look at like all the stuff that has come out from mainly Vinegar Syndrome, but other companies as well, it's kind of impressive that just like we're seeing so much of that stuff released now in that short amount of time. And I remember like even looking like when we were doing like older top 10 shows, like trying to find some of this stuff was like way harder than it is now. You're just able to see more, and that's really dope. Dr. Lamb was one of those films that got announced after we did that show, or right before. It wasn't out yet, I don't think, but I ended up picking it up for this show specifically. I had passed on it a few times at like Wasteland and stuff, but I ended up getting it for $20, which I thought was a fair price.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this one to get like a Region 1 release forever, because I was always told by people just be careful, if you're going to import like one of the Hong Kong DVDs or one of the, old European DVDs or whatever, because a lot of them were cut. So with that knowledge, I was like, fuck it, I'll just wait. And then of course, when Unearthed announced it, I was like, well, obviously it's going to be uncut and it'll be, because Unearthed isn't going to put out some janky shit. Right. So that's fucking awesome, man. But yeah, Dr. Lamb was a first time watch for me. I'd never actually seen this movie. So
what did you think of it?
To be honest, I was a little bit disappointed with the movie. I don't think it's a bad movie at all.
So was I actually.
I'm definitely disappointed, given the story of being based on a real serial killer.
And the cover
who
looks awesome, and like some of the screen grabs, like the rainy, like serial killer taxi driver, like I expected it to be maybe a little bit darker and like just more, I don't know, just like more stylized.
It kind of felt like if like they caught the guy at the beginning of Memories of Murder and then just beat the shit out of him for 20 minutes. And the rest of the movie was him telling his story.
This is where my problems lie with this movie, man. Okay, so going back to Untold Story is basically told in kind of flashbacks, like it's retelling what happened kind of thing, right? If you guys historically, listen to this podcast and listen to, my channel and stuff like that, I'm not the hugest fan of telling stories like this in flashbacks. I'm not a big fan of this. It's like dream sequences to me. I'm not a big fan of it. I wish
honestly,
the story,
like that stuff works for me a lot more than it doesn't.
In this era,
generally I think it is pretty good. I usually do like the style, but that was actually a complaint I had about this too, where I didn't feel like it was like really used very well in here.
I agree with you.
I just feel like I would have preferred following our character of Dr. Lamb, and if they had made the movie where we follow him and he's doing his murders and stuff, like then he gets picked up and interrogated and stuff, like whatever. But like I feel like,
or even if it did like a high tension thing where it's like it's like, oh, we got him, here's his story, and then it's just all his story for the rest of the movie.
Exactly, yeah, because this one cuts back. It almost feels like an anthology film at times. It's like, so the first like half an hour of the film, like right away, like he gets busted because what happened is he gets some pictures developed that are a little bit racy. Anyways, the photo lab technician, he calls the police because he's clearly developing pictures of like dead women and stuff like that. And so they end up arresting, Dr. Lamb.
People got caught because of that specific reason, like back in the day, because
like early 80s,
because people like would take pictures of like things they shouldn't have and then get them developed, and then like some teenager at like fucking 1 hour photos like, dude, what the fuck?
But it goes on,
be that guy.
It goes on so long though. It's like, they basically kind of arrest him and stuff like that, and then they go to his apartment. They find more evidence that this is probably, he's kind of linked to like all these other murders that have been happening and stuff like that. And then this is where the film kind of takes place. He's in the police station, just like literally, there's some funny ass scenes in this film where they're literally beating the shit out of him with a phone book and a fucking hammer and shit. They're doing old school police techniques, like confess, I know you fucking did it.
That seems to happen in a lot of Hong Kong movies.
Yeah, dude, it is kind of comical because it's like so over the top and ridiculous, but this guy won't budge. He won't fucking budge.
Dude, it's just like the cops in Hong Kong movies always just look like fucking just so like there's one dude with like a fucking muscle shirt on and shit like that with his fucking biceps showing.
Dude, you know what's funny about that one guy? He looks over at Dr. Lamb and he goes, "You're a fuckface," and I literally lost my shit. Because it's in English. He just randomly says you're a fuckface in English.
I agree with him.
Fuck, that was funny as hell. So anyways, he's being interrogated. He will not budge and shit like that. And all of a sudden he has like this kind of like mental breakdown. Like the cops know that he's probably the guy that's been doing all these murders. And then he has this like mental lapse. And then he just kind of starts to confess. And that's where we get the actual good parts of the film where he's telling the police of what and how he did these murders and stuff like that. And then it flashes back and then we get these like gory ass kills and stuff like that. And he was only responsible for 4 murders. So it kind of goes through like that whole aspect of him going through this and stuff. And then that's pretty much your movie. But the first half an hour, you're just like, okay. But I didn't like the construction. I would have preferred to see him, as a taxi driver, dark and stuff like that, and patrolling the streets and finding these girls, and kind of do it like that, and have the whole movie like that, and then he gets arrested. I'm not a big fan of the flashback thing. I think it works for untold story. I like that movie a lot more than this one. Not to say this movie is bad or anything. I think this movie is actually quite well done. It's very stylized for a film that
could have been like. I was expecting it to be like more stylized. Honestly,
I thought it was pretty stylized. The cinematography in the flashback scenes where it's very dark and it's like very rainy. It's atmospheric, but I really like the sound. Like the music was really good. It was very jazzy, and it kind of played into like this whole kind of like serial killer kind of feel to it and stuff. I love the rainy aspect of it too. There's a really great line in the film. He's like, "Why did you kill only in the rain?" And he's like, "It's because it excited me." And I was like, "Oh shit, that's haunting as fuck." So he only killed in the rain because it excited him. I was like, "Oh, it's fucked up. It's really fucked up." But I mean, we get some pretty gory kills.
I like the purple hue and the like interesting lighting and the rain and stuff. I just almost wish that was like, maybe it's because we spend so much time outside of that with the like detectives and that narrative.
That's what I don't like about it, actually.
Yeah, it's like I feel like this movie wants to be like a up close and personal with a serial killer movie, but it just never fully is that.
It feels like it tries to be like a character study of this person, but it focuses
really it doesn't get deep enough on it.
But yeah, it focuses so much on the cop aspect in the first half an hour, and then it flashes back. But then you kind of lose that whole aspect of the character study of this person. Even though we get like the beginning of the movie, it's like a little bit intro and kind of explains away why he becomes a serial killer. Not really. It's like whatever. Like he was obviously a little bit perverted with his sister and stuff like that, and like he's taking pictures and all this type of shit. He's like neglected, and it's like exposing the very typical reasons of why people always do this type of shit. So
he was like taking pictures of his like little ass niece, right? Like, isn't that what it like? That is fucking disturbing as hell. Like,
she rats him out.
But his sister even explains to the cops when they were young that he would peep on her in the bathtub. So that's when it started. Yeah,
you know what? If that's the case, bro, you don't let him hang out with your daughter.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking, dude. My brother used to fucking peep on me when we were children. Okay, guess who's not visiting his niece?
Exactly. I know, it's fucked up. So this movie is like 99% serious, but there's this fucking, of course, every Hong Kong movie you ever watch, man, there's always comedic relief in it. And so Dr. Lam was known for basically cutting off titties of women and putting them in jars and stuff like that. And there's this ridiculous scene where we got this fat, overweight cop who's actually called like Fat something. I can't remember exactly what his name is in the film. Anyways, he gets this jar dumped on him, and it's got this titty, and he ends up, oh, fucking, he throws it, and it lands on this other cop's back, and she's got like back titties now. And I'm like, dude, they can't
make
a
the fucking sausage scene, bro?
That's in Naked Killer.
Oh, fuck. It feels like it should have been in this.
Yeah. So this movie is like 100% pretty much like serious, except for this one scene. You're just like, you got this like cut up titty that ends up in this girl's back. And so it's ridiculous.
Dude, the cut off titty is kind of like fucking disturbing.
So I will say with the actual kill scenes in the film, it's pretty high gloss. You know, it's like, it's pretty graphic. I mean, there's a scene where I think at the first kill, he doesn't really know what to do. He kills this girl. I actually laughed at this because he runs down to like the local bodega that's like underneath his apartment building, grabs a fucking Makita saw. He just have a fucking saw down there. He goes back to his place and he starts like hacking her up with this shit, and it gets pretty gory and stuff. So, you know,
I thought that was the best kill. For sure.
I mean, I thought that one right there was like, it is what it is. But I thought the kill where it was the second one where he explains how he wanted to up his basically his kills. He wanted to be a little bit more professional about it. So what he did is he got a dissection book, and he's like following this dissection book, and he gets frustrated in the middle of his kill. He's like cutting off her titty, and then he starts stabbing it with the scalpel. He starts fucking stabbing it. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, it's fucking brutal. Really, really nasty shit. So that was kind of nasty. And then we see the end result of it. He's cutting off titties, putting them in jars and stuff, and keeping his trophies and shit like that and stuff. I don't remember. Did they show all 4 kills, or do they just jump from the second one to the fourth one? Because the last one was a young girl where he kills and then rapes her dead body. That's where he commits necrophilia. So I don't think they go through 4 kills. I think they do 3 of the 4 in the film, if I'm not mistaken. But so there's some nastiness to this film and stuff like that. But what really disturbed me the most about this movie was actually the end scene where the cop asks him, he's in jail, he's been convicted, and he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail. I think it was kind of unclear if he was actually getting the death penalty or not. Maybe he was, or he's just spending life in jail. It doesn't really matter. But anyways, he goes, but he asks for his pictures and his videotape back in the jail cell. And I was like, oh, goddamn, that's fucked up. I thought that was actually a really kind of cool end to the film. That was really neat. But all in all, I mean, this movie I thought was acted really well. It was shot really well. I really liked the flashback music scenes. I thought those were really cool. It's got its comic relief and stuff, but overall for the movie, for myself, I just didn't like the construction. After I thought about it after, and I was like, man, I would have preferred to see this thing done a different way, but I'm fine with what it is. I think it's a well-made movie. It's actually a really well-made movie, really good. But Dr. Lamb.
So the real killer there, this actually does use a lot of the aspects of the real killer. He was known as the jar murderer because he would
put the titties in the jars.
Well, it says sexual organs, so yeah, I assume.
I mean, in the movie they show the titties in there.
Yeah. But he even filmed himself with the 4th victim doing the necrophilia.
Well, they show that in the movie. And that's the tape that he asks for us back when he's in jail. He wants to relive. And that's actually probably my favorite scene in the film, is when he keeps denying everything about his murders. And then he finally just kind of has this mental breakdown. And then he starts waving around. Remember when he's cutting up the chick with the miter saw, the Makita saw, and then he's doing that in the interrogation room. I love that scene. I was like, oh wow, that's so psychotic. He's just reliving it like crazy. There's a great scene where they kind of ask him a question and you kind of see him look up to the ceiling a little bit. And then he's all of a sudden back in that moment. He's reliving the murders. And then he just cracks. He just explains everything. He wants to relive it for himself. He's not necessarily confessing. He's reliving it. And that's what I thought was so crazy disturbing about his character. I was like, man, all that beating, all that buildup was not what made him talk. It was because he wanted to relive the murders. And I was like, that is fucking amazing. Actually pretty cool. Kind of like it.
Apparently even dabbled in cannibalism.
Which they don't go into in the film for sure.
Yeah.
They definitely don't go there. But the titties, the necrophilia with the young girl, which sucks because apparently she was 17. So it kind of goes into the whole pedophilia thing. It's kind of nasty, but
so he was initially sentenced to death by hanging, but it later turned into life imprisonment.
I think that's what they alluded to. Yeah. Because
they abolished the death penalty in 93 in Hong Kong.
Right. I knew that they did. Yeah.
He also said that it was God who told him to kill those people. So
of course it was.
That.
It was God.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty interesting. The movie itself, I like the movie. I think that for me, it was just also a case of it kind of just wasn't what I wanted it to be.
Yeah,
in a way.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I didn't like the police narrative, and I'm not against police narratives. I mean, there's tons of movies.
It felt very procedural for the first half an hour of the film.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just want some fucking serial killers
off. Yeah. It just doesn't work you would they, I guess, intended for it to work, where you have the back half of the movie that's really heavy with the serial killer stuff. And I would have preferred a more maniac approach.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, 100% agree with that. But I mean, from like a film making standpoint, this is actually really well made, like insanely well
Yeah,
made.
it's
like
pretty well made.
Like it's so well put together. The acting, the cinematography, like the nighttime scenes are shot so well. The jazzy soundtrack, which I thought was so fucking brilliant to use.
That's
so
90s in a nutshell, bro. Like that's
92.
Why I love the 90s.
Yeah, using that sax in there, man.
90s has like so many like jazzy, like saxy soundtracks, like in American films too. And like they have
between
like,
89 and like 92, the sax was very, very popular in scores.
I'd even go a little further.
But it was very heavy in those times, like very, very heavy in those times. But so it kind of falls into that aspect. But I mean, I have no problems with this movie. Besides, I would like the construction to be a little bit better. But like for what we got, it's honestly really well done. Really well done. But
yeah,
just not what I was looking for. That's what I mean by I was disappointed in the movie. I thought we were going to follow the serial killer and then get, kind of the play-by-play like that, not like the confession flashback thing. Mm-hmm. It's very common in Asian and Hong Kong films to do these type of narratives where they flash back and they tell these stories. Like I said, Untold Stories like that too. It literally tells the same. It's constructed the same way. But I like that movie a lot more than this one. But
it's got more of a payoff and more of a high point. Like, I don't think this movie like kind of like had that same like oomph.
I think the problem is with a movie like this, though, if you do your research and you understand what you're watching going into it, you know what the end result is, right? You know everything already, right? It's the problem with watching true crime films, but it's the way they perceive it and the way they do it. But I think it works for what it is. It's just not particularly what exactly I wanted, but Tyler, what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, like I kind of like expressed before, I just think the style, like the whole wrestling narrative wasn't really done that well there, and there wasn't like any type of like there wasn't a lot that this movie like gave me a grasp on within like having any like type of attachment towards anyone. I would say it definitely earns its cat 3. There's some pretty dark stuff in there, and I do like I like that buzzsaw kill the best with like the saw. Oh, that was definitely I thought was the best one. That one was pretty nasty, but like I also didn't feel like this movie like really like pushed the limit. Like I've seen other cat 3 movies push it, so like automatically there like it's not satisfying you like the same way I was. Where like it was good at a lot of things, but like I don't think it was like great at any one aspect of the movie. Overall, it's decent. I think the last like video that they watch is kind of a good payoff, but it could have been done like at the same level of messed up that it is like in the Untold Story. And it doesn't deliver as hard as it should. And yeah, like I don't think the structure of the film was doing it any favors here.
Yeah, I think honestly that's my biggest problem with the film. It's just the structure. But I think when they're watching that final videotape, I think the female cop, isn't that the scene where like she starts puking?
No, it's like the chubby cop that starts puking. He's like he's been doing that for 40 minutes.
The female, she ends up puking at one point too. I think it was something to do with that, but I don't know. But man, there's like I always find it so funny when these type of movies break into English, and you have the one cop that I've mentioned before. He calls the guy a fuckface. And then there's one scene he gets so fucking mad. He's like, "You goddamn motherfucking piece of shit." It's like straight in English. I'm like, is it just comedic relief to do that in English or what? It's fucking hilarious, man. Pretty funny, but yeah. I actually do. I mean, it's like every serial killer, right? They always have like the specific kind of like narrative to their own. In their own realm of to why they're doing shit and stuff like that. But like he tries to express that like he's only killing off bad people, right? But he's hunting for like he was basically just hunting, people that were just at risk. These drunk fucking girls are tripping out of clubs and stuff like that. Like, whatever. Are they bad because they drink? No. Dirty with the sex? No. but whatever. But they try to explain that away a little bit. I'm just like, whatever. Still think the fucking when he's all frustrated with that first kill and he goes downstairs and it's just the way it's edited is so funny because like he literally walks out of the apartment, goes down the street to like the newsstand and buys a Makita saw, and I'm like, oh, I can't even get over how fucking stupid funny that is. So this newsstand, the guy was just selling Makita saws. I guess pretty awesome, but only 4 kills. So, but I mean, the first one, how long do you guys figure that one goes on for? Probably a good 20 minutes, good 25 minutes of the movie. They flash back to that scene. It's pretty crazy before he starts hacking up the Makita saw. So pretty good shit though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot more on Dr. Lamb. There's not really much more to say about it.
Agreed.
Although Danny Lee's performance is it's really good. I think Simon Yao, he is really, really good in this film. It's such a weird thing to watch him as Dr. Lamb and then watch him in Naked Killer right after. You're like, oh shit, because now he's playing a cop in that film. He's like playing the fucking polar opposite that he was just dealing with in the previous film. It's weird to watch that back to back. Pretty strange.
Yeah, I watched The Cat in the middle of them.
Oh yeah, I guess it depends on how you watched them, right? Yeah, because I watched The Cat first, then Dr. Lamb. I watched him in order of release because these, like I said, The Cat was released October 22nd. This was, Dr. Lamb. No, what the fuck? Yeah, and then I don't know. Fuck, whatever.
I did The Cat. Naked Killer, Dr. Lamb was last.
I did this on like Thursday night, and then I watched maybe Wednesday. I don't remember. And then I watched The Cat and Naked Killer yesterday morning.
Yeah, I watched Naked Killer when I got up this morning.
So ratings?
Yeah, you. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I like Dr. Lamb a good bit. I think I was disappointed just because I had a lot of hype for it for years because I'd always heard it was like really good. And I do think it's really good, just maybe not what I was expecting. But I'm still coming in at a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have on it. 7.5 out of 10.
I thought it was decent, but overall I thought it kind of underdelivered for me. So I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, that's Dr. Lamb from officially 1992. All right. So moving into the third and final feature here on Category 3, Volume 2, also from the year 1992, we got Naked Killer. Once again, starring Simon Yao, who I like, man. I think he's a dope actor, man. I think he's great. Good stuff. Quick little synopsis here. A young woman is trained by a martial arts specialist to become a professional assassin. You gotta love the fucking narrative on that one. Or the synopsis. It's great.
Directed by Clarence Ford, which sounds a very American name, but he's not.
Yeah.
This is Clarence Folk on my thing.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I know he's the guy that did
Letterboxd
Police Story. He did the first Police Story movie, right? Yeah. Yeah, he did the first Police Story.
He also did The Iceman Cometh from
Oh, he's good.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Maggie Chung's in that one.
What else did he do here?
I
thought
he did like a bunch of movies called The New Option. There's like 4 of them, 5 of them, 6 of them. God damn, these things all came out in 2003. You got the New Option, the final showdown.
He didn't direct fucking Police Story. He fucking photographed that movie.
The New Option, Syndicate. The New Option, Gold Rush. The New Option, Revenge.
Oh, he did Special ID? Shit. I actually own that movie. I haven't watched it yet, though. That was in 2013.
I've only seen The Iceman Cometh.
The New Option, Puppet Horn. Dude, what is up with all these movies?
I don't know.
The new option, Run and Shoot. Oh, that one's 2002.
Oh, we did Don't Open Your Eyes? Shit. Crazy.
Dude, there's so many of these new option movies. I'm not even kidding, dude. Like there's like 6 that came out in 2003.
All right, so Naked Killer. JP, what's your thoughts on Naked Killer? I'm sure they're probably not that high considering it's not a horror film at all.
I like this movie.
Yeah,
I thought this movie was super dope.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really, really fun.
It's fucking, well, first of all, the dub is just amazing.
Well, like I said, I got halfway through the film and I was like, I wonder if there actually is the original language. So I clicked it to the original language. So I'm like, nope, the dub is way funner. That's good shit.
I mean, it's totally like Asian for one, like just like the whole setup of the movie, the very fact that like how the trainer and the trainee meet is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should probably actually explain that away. So, shit, man, where's their fucking character on here? Oh yeah. So I don't know how to say her name. Ching-Wei Young. I don't know. Kitty. Anyways, Kitty's is our kind of like our under assassin here who meets, what is it? Sister. What's her name? Sister
something.
Sister Cindy. And the way they end up meeting, Sister Cindy is like this, like kind of high class fucking assassin killer kind of thing. Like she's like the real deal. Anyways, Kitty ends up meeting her by kind of being a klutz with her killing. So what happens is her father is killed by like another dude or something like that. Like he's like cheating. How does it go? Like
the father has a new wife. And the wife is cheating on the father with a dude called B.
Right. And dude walks in there and anyways, he ends up getting killed. So Kitty fucking goes on a rampage. She goes up to this fucking goddamn like skyriser, you know, one of those office type buildings and just rages in there and just very, very sloppy type assassin type shit, but does a pretty good job. Anyways,
she's like trying to bail out of there. Yeah. And she you know, she fucking children's stories some woman and takes her hostage.
Yeah.
And it turns out that this fucking woman is like an assassin who was going there to kill that dude anyway.
Right. So. Because basically Sister Cindy is like, she's this assassin that kills like shitty dudes. And that's the whole thing with this movie is like, it's basically like a female empowerment type film where, you know, there's these group of assassins, female assassins that kill off fucking shitty ass males. That's what they do. Like these dirty, perverted fucking rapists and all these shitty ass people. And so that's what her stick is, right? So she takes Kitty under her wing, trains her up because she's a little bit sloppy, but she can see the potential in her. Mm-hmm. And it kind of goes from there. And it's kind of cool. So, yeah, he plays the cop in this film, which is kind of a weird transition. If you watch Dr. Lamb right before this movie, you're like, holy shit, he just played this crazy fucking serial killer. And now he's playing a cop. So, which I did learn, actually. I was reading, I think, a little bit of the trivia on this. So the girl that played Kitty was a former Miss Hong Kong.
Really? I mean, she is really pretty.
Dude, fuck. That's one. I'm telling you, man, that is one thing with these fucking Hong Kong films, man. The females in all these movies are so goddamn hot. Fuck, it's so fucked up, man. I was watching Erotic Ghost Story 1 and 2 this week. Dude, it's just, you have a full-on boner the entire time you're watching these movies. Like, it's just nothing but hot chicks. It's crazy.
And this one gets like really fucking kind of convoluted with all the characters. You got this baby chick.
Yeah, I got confused about it for a second.
Princess
I was actually the first like half hour of this movie, I was kind of not feeling it. I was like, this is like some weird like kind of like female duo hangout movie.
Oh, the first half an hour is the best part of the movie, man.
I was just like, this is fucking going nowhere. Then when it got to that like assassin kill in the pool thing, beginning, it kind of like really like, okay, I'm feeling this vibe now, and
Well-
like I really like bought into it the back half.
What's weird about this movie is that it has so much plot. It has so many like under fucking like storylines going on. So when we get introduced to the other lesbian assassin duo, I'm not really 100% sure why they wanted to kill off Sister Cindy. I'm not 100% sure. I think maybe because she was just competition to them. I have no idea. But that becomes like halfway through the movie, all of a sudden we get introduced to this lesbian assassin couple, and they're like, yeah, we want to kill Sister Cindy. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where the hell did this come from? Like, it's like out of left field. It really is. But then it kind of turns into like a romance thing with Kitty and the cop. And it's like she plays like dual characters and stuff because she's like trying to hide her identity of Kitty, and she plays Vivian after the fact. And that's when she was like, from her past life, she was like, into, to Yam's character, the cop. And like, there's a lot of things going on here. But essentially, what was kind of disappointing about the film for me is that I felt like the first like 30 minutes were really good with the action and stuff. And then it really gets away from it.
The way that I understand it is like, so that one Yakuza dude puts like a hit on Kitty, and then the hit is put on Kitty to Princess, which is a protege of the older lady. So she was a previous trainee. Yeah. So Princess. Cindy dynamic where like her new protege is being set to be killed by her old protege,
right?
And then, then there's like this lesbian aspect to that, and it's kind of confusing. But I think I kind of understand it.
Yeah, I guess it kind of makes a little bit of sense, but when you put it that way, it almost feels like it's like a little bit of jealousy shit though too. It's like she's taken under her wing right now. It's like, yeah, I understood that, the other princess was definitely trained by Sister Cindy, 100%. But there's a point in the film where she's like, I want to kill. She doesn't even say that she wants to kill Kitty. She wants to take out Cindy. And I'm like, I think it's
because Princess starts getting into Kitty like romantically.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. There's this weird ass like, it's one of those female empowerment films where every male in the film is kind of like a big piece of shit except for the cop. And there's this huge lesbian aspect to it too. It's like, it's really bizarre. It's really, really bizarre. It's honestly not as sleazy as you think it would be. Like there's a little bit of sleaziness to it, but like there's not that much.
You almost kind of, because there's like scenes where like Cindy is like rubbing on Kitty's like titties and vagina, but it doesn't really go anywhere. You know what I mean?
It's funny because in that scene, Kitty is like, okay, well, you're my master, so you can just rub my titties and vagina. And it's like, and then they just kind of just move on from it. It's weird.
Yeah. I was like getting ready for some like fucking sex scenes, bro.
I know. I was like, oh my God. But then you do get the lesbian scene in the pool, though. You get the lesbian scene in the pool with Princess and her little girlfriend and stuff.
Yeah. So it's like, all right, this is what I'm talking about.
It's pretty cool, man. But it is funny because it's like, it's played like, it's played serious, but it's still comical at the same time. It's like every guy in this film is just a big piece of shit. And it's not like, I don't know, they seem to do it properly. Like in American films, like, Black Christmas remake, where that shit is just the worst shit ever. But they do it better here. I can fuck with it. So, but
this film feels like a movie that like Tarantino would be a fan of.
Yeah. Oh, he probably is. I think it's really fun. I think it just lacks in the action department, which, you kind of expect it to be a little bit. We're talking assassins here. Like there's some awesome scenes in the film. Like one of my favorite scenes actually is when Princess jumps from like the roof of her house and lands on her motorcycle. Like just sticks the landing and like chases them down and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? It's fucking amazing. But like there's a whole lull in the film with like, the whole characters of like Kitty and the cop and stuff like that. And like they kind of have this whole love thing kind of going on, which I'm not a big fan of the romantic angle of the film. I think it kind of takes away from the action. It really kind of does actually. And like, if you actually break out the time, the action in the end of the film is only like maybe 10 minutes. It's kind of dissatisfying a little bit because, it's an assassin film. You expect a lot more from it, but I don't know. I still really liked it though. I thought it was pretty fun.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's like, I don't think it's like the best movie in the world, but like I kind of got into it a little bit where
Yeah, me too.
I didn't really expect to get into it as much as I did because it's like, assassins and fucking yakuzas, and
I
it's
love
not
all
really
that shit,
like
though.
my,
I love that shit though.
like, it's
Yeah,
not really
yeah,
what
too.
I'm known to really like get into. But I've always like, I love like Kill Bill and shit like that. But I'm not like the
Which is influenced by probably this movie.
yeah, and others, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but so I was surprised to be invested in it as much as I was, like, because it is a little confusing and there's a lot of different characters and it's stuff feels like it.
I don't think it's confusing. I think just the way the story is told is just, it's so out of, it's just not, it's clunky. It's clunky the way it's told. I don't think it's hard to follow, but it's just clunky. I find like that.
I think the thing is like the characters that are introduced, like you don't get like heavy backstory on them. They're just kind of mentioned and then they're part of the movie.
Yeah.
So you're like, wait, who's this? And how are they related to this person? And what? So, but I think that like when you're sort of able to like piece it together just by like what's happening on screen. But I think that, I mean, maybe it's just because everybody's smoking hot in this movie too, that I was just like really enthralled by it. But I don't know. I kind of fucked with this movie. I was like, dude, this kind of is like just wild. And
no, it's good. I really like the aspect of like, the whole female empowerment aspect of this. And like, what do female assassins do? They fucking mutilate males' genitals. That's what they do. They shoot them off. They fucking mutilate them. There's a lot of fucking mutilation towards guys' genitals and stuff. There's actually a weird ass fucking scene where Kitty actually gets caught a little bit and the fucking dude stomps on her fucking pussy like 4 times. I'm like, what the hell?
Mhm.
It's a fucking random scene, but I'm like, okay. But yeah, there's a lot of genital mutilation and stuff. And there's this really crazy scene that JP alluded to last review, which he forgot was in this movie. It's funny because it's like this fat ass cop and shit. And like, he essentially some dude's genitals get all fucking mangled and they're all over the place and stuff like that. And of course, when you're at a murder,
They're like up in like the curtains or some
well,
shit.
of course, when you're at a murder scene, what you do is you order, sausage and eggs, right? So they get delivered to one of the cops and he opens them up and stuff. And lo and behold, we have a penis that's up in the rafters or whatever, and it falls into his food. Anyways, buddy's like, yeah, man, the sausage is looking pretty good. And he grabs the fucking sausage, which is actually a penis, and he starts fucking eating. He's like, what? It's all cold. It's all cold. Why don't you get this heated up? It's so fucking stupid.
I mean, to be fair, that was an abnormally large penis for the situation.
It was. But my favorite thing about that whole scene, though, is when he fucking ends up eating the whole thing. It's like you can see the toque on it. You can literally tell it's an uncircumcised penis with a toque.
What the fuck is a toque?
He's got a fucking beanie on the end of his penis.
What's a toque? I never heard of that.
You've never heard the term toque before?
No, I haven't either, to be honest. I've never heard of a toque.
What the fuck is a toque?
Can you describe a toque?
It's on my head, man. Beanie. In your guys' fucking lame terms.
I still don't know
A toque on a penis is an uncircumcised penis. So it has the skin over the fucking mushroom head.
That's called the toque.
Oh.
I call it the toque, right? Which is
that
a
like
toque.
a normal, like, is that what people call it? Or is that
No,
like
it's
just something you made up?
No, I mean,
people usually call it.
Well, what do you put on your head? What do you put on your head?
A hat.
Or a toque or a beanie, right?
I've just never once heard anybody call this a toque.
It's a Canadian term.
Yeah.
It's a Canadian term. It's a Canadian term. It's actually an East Coast. It's not even a West Coast term. It's actually funny.
These were called toboggans when I was growing up.
Yeah, see, we discussed that. I've never heard exactly my point. So you've never heard of a toboggan.
Forever.
I've never heard you guys. A toque is I mean, it's a Canadian term. But anyways, so
or a knit hat.
So on a mushroom head penis, if it's covered with skin, you got a toque on there or a beanie, whatever you want to call it, or in your case, a toboggan. Fuck's sakes! But you can clearly tell when he puts it in his mouth. It's like it's there, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so gross. And he fucking eats the whole thing back. Like, I'm like, dude, come on, man, it's so gross. But that scene is funny as hell. It's actually funny as hell. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. But I will say there's
that's the best scene.
There's a lot of fucking genital mutilation. Oh man, some good stuff going on in the film. But I really like the whole idea that they incorporate. I think that's so Asian to do this too. Is like you poison your lips and then it's like a kiss of death, right? You poison the lips. Yeah. I thought that whole angle, it plays out a couple times in the film. I thought that was really fucking awesome. That's
Romeo and Juliet, dog.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. But
so what would you call this? Like a thriller?
It's just it's an action film, man. It's a Hong Kong action film.
I wouldn't really call it an action movie though.
I mean, I know
it's listed as an erotic thriller, but
that sounds about right. I think I mentioned that.
I feel like it should be an action film, but like there's action scenes obviously in the film.
Some of that erotic thriller influence to it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's enough action sequences that I would consider an action movie.
I know that that's
thriller.
My biggest complaint, man. When you're dealing with assassins, like you want those type of scenes, but you know what's so weird? Like those scenes with like Sister Cindy and how she has the dudes all chained up in the basement and stuff, or like kind of like sex slaves, or like
I think they're pedophiles.
Well, I know, but they use them as like training experiments, right? They use them to like train on and kill and stuff like that. But those scenes are so fucking weird because the music is so damn goofy every time they show them. It's so fucking goofy. It plays out like Looney Tunes. I'm like, what? So weird. The tone in this movie is so bizarre. Like it's funny, it's serious, it's weird, it's like perverted, it's sleazy. It's got everything going on. So
yeah, I liked how sleazy this was.
Yeah. But I mean, I kind of expected it though. It's like female empowerment film with lesbians and like really, really hot ones.
Yeah, every chick in this movie is so hot.
Dude, all these movies, man. Every girl is fucking so hot, man. Every chick. It's ridiculous. But knowing, like, right when we got introduced to our main character in this film, I was like, man, she is so hot. And then you find out that she was like a former Miss Hong Kong. I'm like, yep, that makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
Fuck, man, it's so hot.
That about tracks.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Really cool. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed this, man. I watched it this morning on my laptop and I was like, man, I would love to see this get released by VS. It just feels like it should be part of the archive line, right? Put that on the archive line.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Good stuff though. Good stuff. It's got decent kills. You know, I mean, it's got a little bit of gore to it and stuff. I think one of my favorite scenes in the film actually is when she fucking shoots the dude and then she slams his head with those fucking 2 like 5-pound weights and shit and like bashes his head in and shit and then shoots him in the fucking butt. And he's like, you shot me in the butt. Pretty awesome. Good stuff, man. Really enjoyed this. I would love to see, like I said, I would love to see this movie again. That was really good. But I don't really know what else to say about it.
Yeah,
actually, you know what's a weird part is when she wakes up after at Sister Cindy's house and her fingers are all fucking taped up and shit. She's like, "What are you doing with my fingers? You eat my fingers?" She's like, "No, I'm changing your identity and shit." I'm like, "What the fuck?" It's like so bizarre.
Getting rid of the fingerprints.
Yeah, I'm giving her new fingerprints actually, and that's when she becomes Vivian. So.
I like Kitty.
You know what actually is the most bizarre thing in the whole film for myself though was the scene where Kitty was telling Sister Cindy that she was spying on her and she knows that she's masturbated twice in the last 5 nights and stuff. She's like, yeah, you were moaning pretty loud and I was like checking in on you and you were like rubbing your shit. I was like,
yeah.
It's like some of the conversation in this movie is just ridiculous. It's amazing. So good. But I do, it wasn't intentional to watch the dub on this because that's just how it started playing. I didn't really think anything of it until about halfway through. I'm like, I wonder if it actually has the original language. It just wasn't as fun, like I said before. So, but yeah, Naked Killer, man. do you guys want to do some ratings on these?
Yeah, you're up.
Yeah.
All right. So Naked Killer, I'm going to give a 7.5 out of 10 on this one. I thought it was pretty fun. It's good stuff.
Tyler.
All
Yep.
right. I ended up actually really liking this movie. I'm also going to give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I ended up liking this movie quite a bit as well, and I'm also going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. So that's
Wow.
7.5 out of 10 across the board for me tonight.
Interesting. But I mean, very, very solid films. Like, I mean, nothing's bad here. I mean, like I said, I don't want to get it misconstrued that I didn't like Dr. Lamb. I just said I was disappointed with it.
Yeah,
Doesn't mean I didn't
that
like
came a lot from me being like hyped for it as well.
Right.
But I think the cat is probably the most like revisitable out of these.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
the funnest. But I wouldn't mind watching any of these again down the road. Like
Yeah.
Vinegar Syndrome
Yeah.
puts out any of these on Blu-ray, I'll probably watch them.
Right. I mean, we don't need another release of Dr. Lamb. It's already good.
Oh,
enough.
well, besides that, I mean, yeah, you don't need anything else besides that on Earth. That's
No.
completely perfect. It actually has a commentary by Art Edinger, I believe, as well.
Yeah, which is a frequent, he's always on Dave's channel.
Yeah, I've met him a few times at Wasteland.
Yeah, me too, man. He's a good guy.
Yeah. I have a video of Carly kicking him in the balls, actually.
Oh God, that's the
Nice.
guy. That guy.
Awesome. That's pretty awesome. But yeah, anyways, that's Naked Killer from 1992. And that's episode 290. Holy fuck. We still don't even know what we're doing for 300 yet. No, I'm just joking.
Oh, yeah, we got to start working on that. But speaking of upcoming shows, we have the rest of the season mapped out. Should we let everybody know what we're doing for the rest of the
Sure.
time?
Might as well.
All right, so we don't have that many episodes left. I think we
that
have
are
4.
scheduled. We might have some more. I want to put a disclaimer in there because we might actually have a couple more, just based on even the last episode that we have booked. We might actually be able to record the week after if you guys are down or whatever. But we'll see.
So as of right now, this was our Cat 3 Volume 2 show. Next week, to celebrate the Easter season, because I think, isn't Easter coming up here?
Yep.
20th.
20th?
That's the weekend that we won't be
420.
recording because I'm actually out of town.
Yeah, so
420, dog.
Yeah.
420.
420.
WrestleMania weekend.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, we're doing the Critters franchise. So Critters 1, Critters 2, which takes place on Easter, I believe. There's at least an Easter egg hunt in the movie. Critters 3, which is Leonardo DiCaprio's first feature film. Critters 4 in space. Critters, what was Attacks was the 5th one, the one that just came out a couple years ago. So those five movies, so the original franchise plus the follow-up sequel, and then we might even cover the little mini series, which is about a movie's length of films. I will watch it. I don't know if the rest of the guys will. I think Moodz said he was going to, so Tyler might as well. We should have a guest, Chris Lax, on the show, who goes by Critterbuster on YouTube. Very long time listener of our show. He actually recently made a Letterboxd page that a list that had all of our featured reviews from all time, which I think at the time there was like 699 featured reviews. That was
Yeah,
on
so
his
it'll
list.
be 701 after the Waxwork 1 and 2.
Yeah,
I'd only
which
seen
is
62% on that list.
So 704 now.
how many percent, Tyler?
I was at 62% on the original list.
Man, you're almost as high as me. Apparently, I was fucking Jeremy on this one. No, it's because I started my letterbox in 2018. I didn't backlog anything. So,
Yeah, you technically could go back and backlog some stuff.
I mean, I could, but I mean, like I said, everything that's on my letterbox is what I've watched since January 1st, 2018.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I think I had like 98% or something like that of it. I can't remember. I think I missed like 5 movies or something.
Yeah.
But so we'll be doing Critters with Chris if he could come on. I actually met a guy at Creature Feature Weekend who wrote a Critters book that just came out. Like he was selling it there.
Wow.
But more interestingly, he did a book on Yuletide horror, aka like Christmas horror movies. So,
Dude, so cool.
Carly bought a copy of his book, which we shall share. Signed it for us, and I gave him. I talked about our top 10 Christmas horror episode, and gave him like a card and wrote down the episode title. So that guy's supposed to listen to that. He seemed really interested in checking it out. So,
Cool.
he
might be pleasantly surprised if he's a fan of like Christmas evil and stuff like that. Like,
well, one of his favorites, his favorite is Black Christmas, because I did ask him that. And one of his favorites, like newer ones, is Better Watch Out.
wow.
Which we're big fans of that. So,
Yeah.
but we talked about elves. We talked about all kind of stuff. He actually said that he, like, for that book, he interviewed a lot of people, and he told a little story about, I think it was it? Yeah, I think it was elves, where someone's cocaine fell out of their pocket during the movie or something.
Dude.
But yeah, so I could be mixing up my stories, but I think that's what he was telling me. But it was really cool. We talked to that guy for like 20 minutes about Christmas horror movies and stuff. And the book is like has everything. In the back of the book, it has a list of like all the films that.
And you should have linked in my video. I did a Christmas horror film video. Like I showed off like 100 and something.
I linked him I gave him the channel, your channel for the episode. So.
Oh yeah. Because that one's actually pretty recent, man. It was like 100 and something videos on there, or films, whatever.
Yeah. So so hopefully he checks that out. I think he'll enjoy that. And
that's cool. That's awesome.
If we do a top 10 part 2 next year, maybe we could even get him on the show. Maybe, I don't know.
Not a bad idea.
He seems very knowledgeable on the Christmas horror front. So yeah, after the Critters franchise, we'll be off for a week, and then we come back with another franchise. I guess this is technically subject to change because I didn't mention this, but that is the same weekend as the drive-in, so it might be tough for me to fit all those movies in that week because I'll be recording Sunday after the drive-in.
Leave it up to JP to fuck up the forecast.
Yeah, so we may swap those 2 shows with each other, maybe, but maybe not. Honestly, those movies are pretty easy to watch. I might be able to do it. It might be fine. Or if we even recorded Monday night, that would.
I actually even pulled out Mind Ripper the other day.
Yeah. So if we recorded on the Monday that week, it would probably work better for me. But I don't know if you guys are able to or not. But we'll discuss that.
It might actually even work for me too because I know what route I'll be on that week. So yeah, I don't know. We'll discuss.
What the? Sorry, my TV just started to play sound out of nowhere.
I heard that.
So yeah, the Hills Have Eyes franchise, which we will be doing, Hills Have Eyes 1 and 2 by Wesley Craven, Mind Ripper by Wesley Craven. Did he do that as well?
No.
Oh, no, he didn't do Mind Ripper, or did he write it or something? I thought he was involved with that, but maybe not. And then the 2 remakes, the remake and the sequel, which should be pretty fun to do that show. I enjoy those movies.
It does say he presents it. I don't know what kind of role he has in this. Maybe he just produced it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it says he produced it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So he produced that shit. And then we have after that, we are gonna squeeze in one more, the season of the Hidden Gems Volume 2. So I know people really like that.
Volume Dukes.
So yeah, we will be making sure we get one more of those in for this season. Or one.
Are we just doing 5 again? We're doing 5 again.
Yeah, I think 5 worked.
I think I'm gonna, because I have one. I know we discussed this, but I'm pretty sure that you're gonna put it on your list this time, so I'm not gonna put it on mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. And then as of now, the final show, it could change, but the final show would be the top 10 of 1959. Then we take a break and we'll be back in the fall with 92. So yeah, that's what we got on the good final few shows.
It's open for interpretation. I mean, we might even be able to record the weekend after that 59, and we'll probably do a couple shows in the summertime for sure.
Yeah.
I'm thinking so. So maybe we'll come up with. I wouldn't mind doing like the exploitation show in the summer.
Yep, that could
with a authentic Aussie.
Yeah, maybe that's what I want to do.
So we contacted him, and he's actually down for it. It's just a matter of time, literally time, because we have such a huge difference in time. Like he would literally be recording on a different day than us. Like it's kind of a weird concept, right? Like he'd be recording like on the next day compared to
like if he could give us a list of times in his area which would work, we could maybe look where it would fit best for us.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that would be ideal to do it in the summer. Maybe people have a little bit more freedom. I don't know. We'll be able to.
Which is it's funny because it's their winter when it's our summer.
I guess so.
Right. So
yeah. That is true.
Yeah. So we'd do summer slashers in his winter. Makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
But
Ozploitation show.
No, we'll do exploitation.
But yeah, so that's what we have coming up here. And then if anybody also, we will be in Wasteland in October, the first week of October. Too.
Yep.
If anybody wants to come visit us, say hi.
Yeah, I'm so looking. Actually, Wasteland was this weekend. JP was not there. Carly was there, so looked like it was fun.
I'm really excited for Wasteland. I love hanging out with you guys, even Tyler.
So we're
believe it or not, I'd hang out with Tyler probably the most out of everybody during those. Tyler and Moodz.
So we're leaving again on the Monday. Are you guys going to stick around on Sunday night?
It all depends for me because of the stuff is up in the air right now with my job right now, but I don't know what it's going to look like then. So
if you can, you should probably stay because even the wife even said, she's like, man, they need to stay that extra night.
Yeah. Well, we were originally, me and Carly were talking about going in on Thursday instead of Friday.
Right. Yeah. So I think we get into Ontario a couple days before. So we're driving.
That's something I'd be more open to do, going in on Thursday instead of Friday. That's what I do when I go like on my trips for gaming. I go like completely a day early before.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people actually do that at Wasteland. Go on the Thursday. I know it's different from Moodz.
Actually, one of my favorite moments of Wasteland ever was being there on Thursday and hanging out with like Tom Savini and and those guys. It was a Day of the Dead reunion. Everyone was all hanging out in the bar and stuff like that, and we chilled all night and drank and stuff, and it was fucking awesome. But that was just like it was a lot of the guests that were there and stuff like that. But I mean, we could make the Thursday work, I think, because we're actually in Ontario a couple days before that. But I don't know. We just thought maybe leaving the day after, on Monday kind of works better for us. But
yeah, I get it. And like I'll if I can, I will. I'll see what happens with my like employment.
Right. Right.
Going forward. But yeah, so that'll be there's some good shows. I'm excited for all the rest of the shows we have. So yeah, should be pretty cool.
It's a good lineup.
Yeah, some stuff we wanted to do for a while.
Yeah, I can't wait for the Gem show. I have like some movies I'm just like
I know you'd be most excited for the Gem show.
Oh man, I got one movie I'm like bursting to talk about.
I just added another film to my hidden gems list yesterday. Actually, I was in my film room and I was like, "Fuck, I got to do that one." That's definitely a hidden gem.
I'm not completely sure on my list. I think I got two for sure. But I have like a little pool, and like some of them like are even movies. Like after the last one, I like kind of like did a little search onto the internet for some like real obscure shit that has like a cult fan base. So I wanted to keep it like I put myself at like at a real like limit this time, and like how many people could have had like seen it if I was gonna include it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually am. My room is from Thursday to Sunday as of right now.
So you're there the Thursday, man. Fuck. Because we're definitely booked Friday through Monday.
Look at the cost. I don't know if you could see this or not. Look at the cost of my. No, you can't.
No, it's too white.
Of my Thursday. 66.40 is the rate.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. And then what's the Friday? It's like double.
Friday and Saturday 96.15 plus tax.
Yeah.
So my total for 3 days is 303 after tax.
That's pretty good.
That's great.
Really good.
That's
so why didn't you tell me that you guys were going to be there on Thursday? Because we probably
I did tell you.
I didn't book a room yet.
Why do you wait? I told you when to get the best deal.
No,
book
your shit, dude. October always sells out, man.
I didn't book it last year until like September, July, no, like August maybe.
Well, I'll talk to the wife.
I didn't even book with like the room block, and I got a better deal.
Yeah, well, I didn't book with the room block either. That's why I have the better deal.
Yeah. This was like
it's a strategic thing, and I've said this before. I'm not saying don't book in room blocks because a lot of times it is the better deal. It's just if you know how to manipulate the hotel market like I do, sometimes it's not the best deal depending on if you know the dates ahead of time type thing.
Yeah, I think I checked just to see, and it ended up being like $45 cheaper to not do the room block.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the show.
Yeah, that is definitely the show. Episode 290. That's it. We're done. Check you guys next week.
With Critters.
With Critters, man. With Chris. So, speaking of that, actually, the miniseries.
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to watch that?
It's on Plex for free. I don't know if it will be for you or not.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I'll check it out after. Okay. Sounds good. All right, guys. We're out of here. Deuces.
See ya.
That's all, folks.